Hi, Lost, and welcome. It's finally back. I beat the internet demons, you see. What the hell? That's weird. That shouldn't be appearing like that. Come on, there it is. I feel like since it's been a few weeks, we're gonna go over this. Again. Oh yeah, Pongo has a VA. I remember Pongo. What a champ. Perfect. Alright. Loading up. Last time we left off, we still had to fight the cable demons, you see. And we got through the Earth Temple, met Amber's met Amelia's parents. Felt like we needed to take a cold shower at one point in time. That was a thing. And we defeated the Breaking Bad reference in combat. And then we got to Wolf's Den. Not necessarily all that in the order, but we kind of went to a Thieves Guild town. So where we left off, we were approached by some weirdos that were like, "Hey, want to learn how to cast magic good?" So yeah, I forgot about this weird loading thing that happens sometimes. Oh, don't worry, I'll actually go. Just there it is. Anyway, this save here was about when first hiccup of last stream occurred. And our last stream, for reference, was about a month ago because I didn't want to keep trying to stream a game when I would keep losing connection to the internet at random, and therefore keep getting interrupted while talking and reading at random. So, we're back at the actual point now, folks. We're getting ready to go to the mansion. Lena, Zach, and I exit the inn. Studying the address on the cards given to us, we eventually come across a nondescript mansion. Cautiously, we knock on the front door. There's no response. Since they are looking for mages only, Leanna does a radial scan. From the blank door, a hidden message appears. It indicates to go around to the back entrance, but only when the sun has fully set. We decide to spend our time scouting out the location for all the different exits and get as much of the floor plans as we can figure it out, just in case. By the time we are done with our extensive mapping, it is evening. We circle around the house to the plain wooden door. We knock twice and the door swings open. Grinning widely is one of the men who recruited us yesterday. He ushers us in through the door and into the foyer where a handful of people mill about. I feel like there will be a boss battle here. I take in the marble staircase and pristine tiles. Some people sit on the leather couches as they wait for whatever is supposed to happen to begin. Bright light spills into the room and reflects off of the crystal chandelier hanging from the ceiling. This room looks more expensive than my entire house back home. I'd never have guessed it from the plain exterior of the house. After a few more minutes, a man with slicked black hair approaches with open arms and a shining grin.
Welcome!
Recruiter. The room quiets down to silence as he greets us.
I'm sure you're all wondering why you've been invited here today.
Well, it's science, bitch.
It's because our expert talent scouts spotted a commonality within all of you, an unmistakable ability, a mastery of the elements.
This is weird. A few people sneak glances around the room. I look at Leanna, who is watching the speaker intently. Zach crosses his arms, his expression unreadable.
We too share this gift, and we too hungered for power.
Oh wow. They're not even hiding it at this point. Fucking shadow magic people.
We spent hours upon hours honing our craft, showing painstakingly slow progress before we were introduced to the secret techniques we hope to share with you today.
Wow.
My friends, if you wish to become the most powerful casters in this area, then you have come to the right place.
But Zach isn't a caster.
But as they say, with great power comes great responsibility. These techniques are dangerous and are not for the faint of heart. Failure can lead to dire consequences, and in order for us to continue, I need absolute assurance that you are all ready to face those consequences. If anyone is having second thoughts, now is the moment when you can walk out of here with no hard feelings.
Oh. A couple of people turn around and head back towards the door, but the majority of the group, which is still a small number of around 10 people, decide to stay.
I admire all of your courage, but I'm not surprised by your decision.
Oh what? Oh boy. A doorway to the left of the room creaks open. A man points in that direction.
The beginning of your training is in the next room. Please proceed through the doors and our training leader will meet you there.
Oh god. Low murmurings fill the silence as people begin to exit the room. As Lena begins to pass, the strange man from before sidles up to her and lowers his voice.
So, the guild finally caught wind of this, eh?
Broodman Wayne! Leia masks her surprise and keeps her voice even.
I'm not sure what you mean.
He chuckles and nudges her.
It's alright. You can trust me. I'm actually Broodman.
Broodman! This is totally not Batman. He pauses if waiting for a recognition, but we immediately stare blankly at him.
Broodman? The Silent Protector? Tamer of the Wolves at Wolves Den?
Oh. Again, we make no notion of recognition.
Well, either way, we're on the same side. I know that these guys are dangerous, and I've got a plan in place to stop them.
Okay, Broodman Wayne.
How do you know they're dangerous? Do you know what their secret technique is?
Yes. Broodman waggles his eyebrows knowingly, like the Dr. Wilyman.
Right, playing innocent to keep up your facade. I understand.
He winks.
Look, I was planning on taking these guys down alone, but having a member of the Mage Guild as backup would ensure the downfall of these guys. What do you say? Are you in?
I'm Broodman.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He winks.
Alright. You won't budge.
He taps his nose and fixes his attention on Zach.
I'll just pretend I didn't see the mage emblem when you first entered Wolf's Den. What about you?
His voice trails off as Zach stares him down with his unblinking gaze. Broodman seems unfazed. Bruce's gaze lands on me and he quickly shifts focus.
How about you?
I'll do fucking Zach's lead. I muster up my most intimidating glare and stare Ruderman down. He meets my gaze. We hear shuffling. I notice most of the people have filed out of the room by now.
We should get going before they get suspicious.
Yes. Ruderman nods. We follow the others out of the room into an evening courtyard. Damn courtyard. Is good. Courtyard is surrounded on all sides by walls, which upon further inspection are hallways connecting to the different wings of the mansion. Because we're enclosed within the mansion, we're guaranteed privacy.
Listen up! I know what they promised you back there, and I know they made it sound like all of you, as long as you try, will be able to learn the technique for power.
Well...
But they're wrong!
What?
Only those of you strong enough to handle that amount of magic will be successful, and that's where I come in.
Well, shit.
I'm here to test your proficiency with magic, and if this technique is something you can even handle.
Is that gonna shoot this guy squarely in the fucking face? A few staff members who are standing on the sidelines come over and begin passing out manipulators. When they reach Zach, the staff member notices his lack of a manipulator and looks at him in confusion. Zach doesn't react or bother to take the manipulator from his hands either.
He passes.
Oh! The training leader walks by, and as his gaze falls on Zach's dischargers, his expression changes. He turns to the staff with the manipulator and urges him to move on. The staff member begins to protest, but the training leader stops him.
He passes. I know you all have your own manipulators, but I don't care. Use ours anyway. The goal of this isn't to show off who has the fanciest gadgets. It's to eliminate any variables so we can get a more accurate read on your abilities.
Well then.
Now who wants to go first?
One person steps up and attempts to cast a gale, but his nerves make his arm unsteady and he keeps losing focus.
Enough.
The training leader shakes his head and the man hangs his head. The staff members lead the man out of the courtyard as the next person steps up. One by one, they go until it's my turn. My blood runs cold as clammy sweat covers my body.
Let's go. We haven't got all day.
Well, I close my eyes and breathe deeply. I can do this, just remember my training. Once my hand's steady, I raise my arm and channel out a gust of wind as I've done so many times before. I picture Leia watching and encouraging me, and sure enough, a gust of wind flows through my fingers. The training leader frowns, unimpressed, but the staff member who took my energy ring races over to his side. I'm pretty sure I can guess what's going on. They took a scan that said my energy levels are off the charts, and yet somehow my casting skill does not equal the energy I possess.
Pass. For now.
Weird. I nod. The training leader calls Leanna forward, and I take this time to switch out my manipulator back to my own. She takes a deep breath, gathers her energy, and raises her arm. Her blue eyes almost turn steel gray as a hailstorm whips the trees in the courtyard. Leanna's hair flies around her, but she stands steady in the tempest, her gaze challenging the training leader. He raises his hand, and as instantly as she summoned it, Leanna seizes the storm.
Pass.
Yeah. As a few people pick themselves off the ground or dust themselves off, Leanna returns to the group. Nice job.
Thanks. You too.
I nod. They continue to move through the test. Zach silently slinks over and joins as Leanna surreptitiously switches back to her manipulator and does a scan of her own. She frowns at the results and lowers her voice so I can barely hear her.
I'm getting the same strange absence of energy reading that we got back at Stonecrest.
Do you think there's something to avoid? She nods, her expression grave. Star approaches Leanna and she quickly puts on a smile.
Ma'am, I have a message from the site commander. He wishes to meet you.
Oh?
In his private quarters.
Oh.
For once, she can't hide her surprise. The guard leaves momentarily as he goes to speak with the training leader. Leia turns to us.
We need to figure a way out of this. There's no way I'm going into the commander's private quarters.
I agree.
You have to.
What?
Quiet!
Leia lowers her voice, but her tone is just as stern.
Do you have any idea what an invitation to his private quarters means?
It can mean like a number of things. One of them is terrible fucking void things. Another one is terrible things in general.
Of course I do. And that's why you need to go. This is your chance to get inside and find out if this is a part of Void's operation like you suspect.
Oh. He frowns.
There must be another way.
Probably. But not on such short notice without an all-access pass to the most secure place in the entire mansion.
Well, that's a good point, Zach. Leia remains quiet as Zach's words sink in. Then she groans.
You're right. This is the perfect opportunity.
What about us?
We'll find a way inside and catch up with Liana. When you get to his quarters, make sure you leave the door unlocked so we can get in.
Okay.
I will. But you two better hurry up. I do not want to be alone with him longer than I need to.
Good point. Training leader looks annoyed and waves guard away. We fall silent as he returns to collect Liana. He throws us one last warning look before leaving. So, how are we going to sneak in?
We need a distraction.
As Zach and I scan our surroundings, a hand falls on my shoulder.
Don't worry, I've got this.
Thank you, Broodman.
Got what?
He just winks at us as he enters the center of the courtyard. The training leader looks amused as Broodman enters the testing space unprompted but doesn't stop him. Broodman stands perfectly still and takes an exaggerated breath and slowly breathes it out. He raises his arm in front of him and summons a glowing fireball in his hand. As he aims it straight in front of him, it was only then I noticed he'd strategically placed himself so he was facing a large tree. That's smart. He'll ignite the tree, accidentally, as part of his proficiency testing. Ruben takes another deep breath, and just as he's about to let the fireball fly, he seizes hard. Fireball misdirects and catches on his clothes. He yelps as the flames lap at his clothes, and drops to the ground and rolls. But instead of extinguishing the flames, the grass ignites where he rolls. Soon the courtyard is a muck of shrieking voices and running bodies. What am I even witnessing? Broodman! Tech pulls me aside.
Now's our chance.
Yes. I nod, and the two of us slip through the same doors we saw Leanne go through. They were distracted, immensely. We enter a brightly lit corridor and try our best to blend in and stick to the few shadows in the room. We manage to escape the corridor without incident, reaching our open hallway. Guard stands in the center of the room, making his rounds. Dex signals for him to stay back as he sneaks up on the guard. I stay back and give Zach space. He has far more experience in this sort of thing than I'm due, so I'm happy to follow his lead. As he gets close, he jumps to the guard and covers his mouth. He disarms him. Rush over and help him secure the guard in a more hidden alcove. He struggles as we place him in a chair. I hold him down as Zach approaches him.
Where are the commander's quarters?
I'll never tell.
Zach grins as he cracks his knuckles.
Ah, good.
Good?
I was hoping you'd resist. It makes interrogation so much more fun.
Damn straight. The guard resumes his struggles, but I continue to hold him down. Zach slowly approaches, and I see the fear creep into the guard's eyes.
Hold on a second.
Zach doesn't stop. He balls his hand into a fist. The guard looks at me with panic in his eyes.
I'll talk. Just get that crazy guy away from me.
Zach frowns but stops walking towards him.
The commander's quarters are right down this hall, and then a left at the next fork. His is the last room down that corridor.
That's all we needed. Thanks.
With one knockout punch, the guard falls unconscious and two of us hurry off. Thank God. This went smoothly. As we turn down the hall, I face Zach. I'm surprised that was so easy. Zach sighs.
I know. How disappointing.
Sounds like you're a death slinger or something, but whatever. I look blankly at Zach. Okay then. We sneak through the corridors and remain unspotted as we follow the guard's instructions. We recognize the commander's quarters immediately and see the two heavy mahogany doors at the end of the hall are slightly ajar. Leanna left it unlocked. Why are there no guards in front of the quarters? Isn't that suspicious?
Not if the commander's got a woman in his room.
That does make sense. Fair point. We slip into the room and are immediately greeted by a frenzied whispers from Leanna.
Oh, finally! You guys sure took your sweet time.
Calm down. We got here as quickly as we could.
Yeah, we let Broodman lay himself on fire. It was so great. Where's the commander? Must be the bathroom. Leanna points to the locked door. It must be the bathroom.
He went to freshen up.
Oh boy. He shudders. Zack crosses his arms.
Okay, then what are you doing just standing around here for? Get in a position.
What position?
Zack points to the bed and Leanna pales.
You can't be serious.
Do you want to jeopardize this operation or what?
How would posing on the bed help with this operation?
Because while he's very distractedly approaching the bed, we'll be able to knock him out from behind.
Damn straight.
Quick and quiet, and not alerting any guards.
Leanna sighs and lacklusterly climbs onto the bed. She lays down on her side and prompts her head up with her arm.
Like this?
Can't help but stare. Curves her hips, draw me in alluringly as she still tries to fight me to go to her. What was the question? Despite the circumstances, Leanna blushes under by staring. She trembles off the bed. Zack frowns.
No, that's not right at all. You have to be more inviting.
Zack lounges his stomach and blends his legs up at the knee as he rests his head in one of his hands.
This is the most effective pose.
Okay, that's great.
Are you kidding me? You look like you're sunbathing at the beach. That's not alluring at all.
You don't know what you're talking about, woman.
Jesus Christ. I've seen some CGs from later on in this game, and that is definitely a pose that happened somewhere.
I think I'd know a thing or two more about flirting than you would.
You're the one that seduced the guard.
Oh, please enlighten me, sailor.
The callback. I remember now. She said, "Hello, sailor." Leanna's face flushes at the memory. She's about to argue when the door into the bathroom flings open. A living man stands in front of the door, nothing more than a too revealing Speedo. Jesus Christ.
Apologies for the delay, my sweet. I wanted to make sure that I was in...
Shadow General! It's his fucking name, it definitely is. He freezes when he sees Zack on the bed, and for a moment, nobody moves.
Alright, before we begin fighting, I have a really important question.
I'm just imagining fucking Nathan Sharp on a bed posing with his legs up and one hand under his head, being like, "Alright, before we begin fighting, I have a really important question." Zack mimics Leanna's original pose.
Is this attractive?
The commander's face turns red with rage.
No!
Thank you, that's exactly what I said.
Well, it would have been attractive if I were doing it.
I'd agree to that if anyone cares about my opinion. The commander roars out in anger. Zack rolls off the bed and withdraws his discharges one smooth motion as Leanna's manipulator glows. I pull out my sword and ready a fighting stance. The commander glares at us.
Do you really think that a bunch of amateurs can take out someone as powerful as I? You fools will regret ever crossing paths with a Shadow General.
Oh, don't worry. He raises his arms and raises his stance, and his face falls as he realizes he's naked.
Oh, shit.
Zack shoots a blast which knocks the commander down. As it turns out, less armor does not protect you better, Mr. Shadow General. He smashes his head against the dresser and falls to the ground with a heavy thud. Leanna rushes to check him, her sword at the ready, but he is knocked out cold. I sheathe my blade. That was easy.
They aren't so tough without their magic.
Exactly. Leanna has her manipulator out and performs a scan.
He said he was a shadow general. That just confirms that this has something to do with Void.
Damn straight. She only focuses on an area on the floor. In the floor. Prying up the floorboard, we find a large bag filled with dark spheres.
Tainted spheres.
Definitely Void.
Yep. Fucking Void. Void. I'll make the chat box available for this one. Void.
We can't leave the spheres here. We have to take them.
Damn straight.
We'll be too conspicuous lugging this bag around.
But it would be even more dangerous to leave them here for them to use.
Can we, like, break them or something? Also, what should we do with the Shadow General? Just leave him here? Cat shrugs. Suddenly, the window crashes open. We ready ourselves for another battle, but we recognize the figure as Broodman. He dusts himself off and heads straight for the commander.
Finally, we meet again.
Broodman doesn't seem to notice we're there as he continues addressing the commander.
For all these years, I have slowly unraveled everything you've worked so hard to build. I have been that splinter that you just can't pull out. And now I am here to finish what I have started.
Kick his ass, Broodman.
For I am Broodman. You killed my brother. Prepare to die.
Okay, so he went from Batman to straight up fucking Inigo Montoya here. Alright, that's great. He frowns as his commander doesn't react.
And even now, you won't give me the decency of even acknowledging my presence.
We knocked him out, sir. He moves to kick the commander when we stop him.
Hey, wait! He's unconscious!
Yeah, we shot him unconscious. Broodman pauses.
Ah, yes, of course. He was so intimidated by my speech that he passed out in fear.
Wow. That's not what... Broodman strides the commander and seemingly without effort hauls him over his shoulder.
Don't worry, I'll take it from here.
Kick his ass. Off screen. He launches the commander out of the newly opened window. What the hell?
We're on the second floor!
Oh.
We rush to the window. A fall from the second level may not be fatal, but could still break a few bones. Luckily, the commander landed in a bush and looks unscathed. Broodman crosses his arms triumphantly.
All according to plan, my friends.
That's right. I Assassin's Creed in this bitch. Climbs back through the window and lands on his feet beside the commander, then takes him away into the night. We pause as we let all that sink in.
We should get out of here before we attract too much attention.
That's right. Leanna nods. She carries the bag of tainted spheres as naturally as she can and pushes open the doors. There are two guards now stationed in front of the commander's quarters, and they give us some questioning looks as the three of us slip out. Careful to close the door behind us.
Where is the commander?
Please don't disturb him. He's all tuckered out from our certain activities.
Yes, he stuck her out from the foursome. She winks. The guard clears his throat uncomfortably.
Right, I understand.
Aha! The second guard looks suspiciously at Zack and me.
Hold on, what about you two?
Oh, don't worry. We took part in those activities, too. I wink and try to hold back my laughter at their horrified expressions. Goddamn.
Would you like us to elaborate?
Nope, not necessary. You may go.
Zack grins as the three of us waltz out of the corridor. Because Commander had made it clear what his intentions were with Leanna, we had no trouble with any of the guards milling about and were able to exit the mansion unquestioned. Thank God. Once we were safely outside, we raced back to the inn. Bursting through the doors, we very urgently scoop up Amy and Kara.
Greetings upon your safe return. I assume your endeavors were successful.
Yes, you also still sound like a robot. Natalie. Wait, what?
Yep, everything's great, but we should really be getting a move on now. We'll fill you in on the details later.
Yeah? Mia looks surprised, but Kara notices the bag Leanna carries and urges Amy.
Sounds good. We've been itching to get out of here anyway. Come on, Amy. Let's go grab our things and head out. The sooner we're out of here, the closer we'll be to Ellendale.
That's right. That's where we're going next. Amy shrugs and follows Kara upstairs to grab her things. Their things. Once they return downstairs, we depart. We leave Wolfsden. As we leave Wolfsden, I spot the familiar dark visage of Broodman. Beside him is a woman wearing a hooded green cloak. She carries a large bow on her back. I slip away from the group and step closer to Broodman, make sure to stay hidden from their view. The woman has braided long white hair and fine lines trace her tan skin. Broodman nods.
The deed has been done. Void's operation here will crumble without their commander. Wolfsden need fear the shadows no longer.
The woman nods in satisfaction. Suddenly her gaze slides to me. I freeze, unable to move. What do I do? Ruby notices her gaze and looks at me. He flashes me a broad smile and gives me a thumbs up. The woman's face is partially hidden behind a scarf, but she nods slowly, approvingly. Then she abruptly turns and leaps up. She scales the wall and disappears onto the rooftop, silent and graceful like a cat. Broodman pulls himself up using his brute strength before following closely behind. At least I know he's doing okay. I catch up with my friends and continue out of the gates of Wolfsden. Broodman Wayne. Great man. We've only known him for so long. Once we're on the road, Leanna and I fill the rest of the team in on what happened. After traveling as swiftly as we can for the rest of the evening, we decide to make camp. We choose a secluded area off of the main road and set to work. Leah and I split up to search for firewood while Zach and Kara prepare our rations, because we nominated Zach as cook. Amy unrolls her sleeping pack and lights the campfire. The Pongo, good old Pongo, cuddles beside her and watches the dancing flames. Once the food is ready, all of us gather around and begin to eat in silence. Kara playfully breaks the silence.
Foiling another Void operation. Seems like just another day in the life now.
Yes. Actually, now that you mention it, we have seen a lot of Void presence lately. Weren't they supposed to have been disbanded and outlawed? Why are they everywhere?
Unless every single person who believes in Void's ideals and goals are gone, it's impossible to fully get rid of Void. They've always been around, even after the Treaty of Assyria. They're just more secretive about it now.
They just seem like more of an open secret than anything at this point.
It's just, you won't find them unless you know where to look.
And we found exactly the right spots for them. Oh yeah, thanks.
If what you say about Void and its operations are true, then the most logical course of action would be to alert the Mage Guild or Academy of their whereabouts.
They're probably already aware of Void activities and have missions to monitor or take care of things.
Yeah, probably. Makes sense.
It's true that the Mage Guild is involved with a lot of suspicious reports of magical activities. I'm sure many of them have some connection to Void, which the Guild would keep secret so as not to entice widespread panic.
That makes sense. That makes sense. A resourceful organization like that would have some serious flaws in its intelligence if it were completely blindsided by all of this. Amy nods.
What has been said seems sensible.
Zach points to the bag of spheres.
What are we gonna do with those? Someone will probably come looking for them.
Leah moves towards the bag.
We'll turn them into the Mage Guild of the next city, and let them know what happened.
Yes. He tries to secure the bag, but a blue little head pops up.
Boy!
Oh god. Is Pongo going to eat the void spheres? The Pongo dives back into the sea of spheres and we hear contented sighs of Poi. Oh no.
Pongo, what are you doing in there?
She reaches straight into the bag and pulls him out, much to Pongo's dismay.
Boy!
He struggles against her grip, but she grabs him firmly. If a Pongo absorbs a tainted sphere, will the Pongo become tainted too? Amy shakes her head.
No, the way a sphere becomes tainted is by becoming supersaturated with energy, thus becoming unstable.
So it's more like nuclear fusion than anything. Or like enriching uranium or something like that.
A Pongo's absorption of energy is to turn sad energy into fuel. He is unaffected by the type of energy absorbed.
Ah. Kara looks intrigued. She scoots closer to the Pongo and tickles him. He giggles.
Huh. I never knew that.
Now you know. If that's the case, why aren't Pongos used against Void? 7 devoid establishments absorb the tainted spheres.
Absorbing spheres doesn't happen overnight. And when a Pongo is full, he'll stop absorbing energy. Just like how we can't eat anymore after we finished a meal.
So the tainted spheres are going to be more similar to that one Danish dish where a single spoonful is a fuck ton of calories.
Perhaps in a span of a couple months, a Pongo could remove all energy within a tainted sphere.
That confirms my suspicion.
Exactly. The process is just too slow to be effective during a battle.
Maybe if that entire force were to team up together. Pongo manages to wiggle out of Leanna's grasp and plops down beside me. He stares longingly at the bag but makes no move to return. Indeed. Oh shit. I haven't seen in a long time in chat. That's nice. We finish up eating and begin to clean up. Afterwards, I stifle a yawn. The stars shine pinpoints of light amidst the black sky, and their comforting glow makes me even sleepier. We've had a long day. As the rest of the group also gets ready for bed, I crawl into my bedroll and close my eyes. The night is still, and gradually I can hear the soft breathing of my friends. Thanks, Akeem. I'm glad you're here. I forgot to change that message from when I did Fiesta yesterday. But, well, it's appropriate. We have cause to celebrate. Thank you for the tab. And good luck with your stuffs. Night is still gradually. I can hear the soft breathing of my friends as they each drift to sleep. A general shuffling noise has me blink open my eyes. I see the Pongo slip out of Leanna's bedroll and tiptoe over on towards the bag of spheres, glancing back every so often at her sleeping form to make sure she doesn't hear. When he gets close, he shuffles the last few inches to the bag and scrambles inside. The last thing I hear is a purring of poise as I drift to sleep. Wait. That is the noise of Pongo. And there is an actual VA that says poi. I wake up. That was a crazy day yesterday, but we somehow managed to pull through. I stand up and stretch while looking around. Everyone seems to be sleeping. Everyone but Lena, of course. She's always up bright and early to practice. I think she's rubbing off on me because I am waking up early these days too.
Poi?
That's right. Look down at my Pongo. And good morning, Lacey. So far, yes. Ever since I took care of my internet problem, I have been able to do streams that aren't getting interrupted by random internet outages. So I can return to doing my reading series, which is this. I pick up a different sort of like VN or some kind of reading material otherwise, and we'll read through it for a while. And that's the second season that I am doing this particular type of stream. How are you doing? How was your morning? I look down at my Pongo. Oh, nice. What the? He's a bigger blob than I remember. He grins contentedly. Were you absorbing energy all night?
Poi.
I smile at my Pongo and pat him on the head. In case you're wondering what Pongo looks like, let me quickly look up a picture of this feller here for you. tab. And we use a Linkle. Huh. I don't have monitor on this one. That's weird. Oh well, I have monitor on this one here. We're fine. That's weird. Let me move it up. There it is. Genshin was somehow blocking it. No, I just put it at the very top. We're good. This is Pongo. I'm going to block out monitor now and go back to Steam. There we go. That does make sense. Hopefully today does indeed get better. Knuckles against my hand. Or it makes you happy, little guy.
Boy!
That starts again. Ever since I got to routine with Leanna, I look forward to our morning spars. Between the magic training and sword training, maybe I could eventually become a mage knight. Assuming, of course, I don't get sent home. It doesn't take me long to find Leanna. Get back in her usual outfit. Thank God. She sits cross-legged with her eyes closed as if in meditation. Her crystal glows are clear, but otherwise she doesn't move. As I move closer, she breaks from her trance and gives me a warm smile.
Good morning!
Hey, just practicing energy channeling? She nods.
Mm-hmm. I was just waiting for a certain someone to wake up so we could spar.
Alright. I wear an apologetic smile. My apologies, I should not keep a lady waiting. Land giggles.
Aren't you quite the gentleman? But don't think that means I'll go easy on you.
Of course not, Blade. Alright, my blade. I wouldn't have it any other way.
We'll start with a standard spar. The goal is to knock your opponent to the ground. Ready?
My grip tightens around my blade. I nod. Let's go. We dash towards each other and our swords meet in a metallic clang. Lana spins around and swings her sword towards my side. Bring my sword down and head hear another clash as metal hits metal. But I put a sure blade back as I move to strike. Lana easily parries it as she knocks my sword away, creating an opening. I manage to dodge her strike just in time. I'm surprised they're not having me do the clicking minigame here, but I suppose since I did it correctly the first time, it probably won't force me to do it again or something for a while. She ducks low to avoid my retaliating blow and thrusts her sword again. Continue to dance back and forth as the duel progresses. I can feel myself improving. I'm not having as much trouble defending against Leanna's attacks, and I'm about to get a few jabs of my own in, too. Beads of sweat cover Leanna's forehead in a light sheen. It doesn't look like she's using her wind magic to buff her. Leanna matches high intensity, something she does every match. Just as I feel confident I have a rubber hand, she increases her skill level and I have to scramble to keep up again. Regardless of my improvement, I still haven't been able to beat her in a single match, and no statistics do hurt my pride a little. Maybe if I distract her and catch her by surprise, I'll have a better chance of winning a match. I've been playing by Leanna's rules this whole time. Maybe it's time to take a play from Zach's book. Do whatever you need to win. I don't want to be a dick. These are practice duels anyway, and the goal is to improve, not win. We continue to spar as usual, training from blow for blow, but ultimately, as she has done so many times before, she managed to knock me over. Leanna walks over to me and offers me a hand to help me up. As we cool down, she gives me some more pointers on how to improve as well as offers some encouraging words on how much I've grown. After a brief break, Leanna has us duel a few more times to help with my endurance and training. She's barely broke her in a sweat even after my limbs feel like lead and I can barely stand. No wonder Mage Knights are such a force to be reckoned with. Everyone else is up by the time we return to camp. I smell the delicious aroma of food and grab myself a bowl. Once everyone is served, we sit down together to eat. After a few moments of silence, Amelia seems to remember something and grabs a book from her pack.
Here.
She hands it to Kara. Kara blinks in surprise. I noticed the same book Kara gave Amy back at the Earth Temple.
You don't want this anymore.
Amelia shakes her head.
I have read through the literature and it does not contain any information which could be of use.
Oh.
Really? We found it in an old temple. Are you sure it's not something that the Mage Academy would want?
Amy shakes her head again.
The text is a subjective moral lesson in the way of a fictional story about an adolescent. This yields no academical benefit.
Wow. So, seems the Mage Academy's not really a fan of Aesop's fables. Kara thanks and shrugs.
Okay, if you're sure you don't want it, then I can sell it. It's still an ancient relic after all.
Do as you please with it.
Alright, thanks, Amy.
Sell it for money. She nods and resumes eating. Sell that shit to a museum. Once everyone has eaten their fill, we clean up camp and continue on our journey. Travel together for quite some time. Finally, the sun begins dipping low and streaking the sky of sizzling pinks and yellows. Rocks crunch under our boots as we continue down the path. The air is brisk and goosebumps shiver up my arms. A sharp breeze cuts through my clothes. I wonder how much further we need to walk. We manage to drag our way through, the chill deepening with each vanishing beam of sunlight. Kara leads the way a few steps ahead of us. Zack's expression is hard to read, but I notice him pull his coat in a little tighter around him. Leia rubs her hands together before puffing a hot breath into the cradle of her palms. Pongo is not pleased. Pongo nuzzles against my neck and disappears into my scarf. Yes, we have a scarf. He's even colder than usual, making me shiver again. Guess I'm not the only one noticing the chill.
Aw, poor little guy. It's pretty cold out, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
We should pick up the pace. When night falls, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. I agree. My teeth rattle from the cold, and I tuck my freezing hands under my arms. A bitter breeze whirls through Leanna's hair and makes her shiver. She coils tighter into herself. Millie's cloak balloons out behind her, and she lifts her hood over her head. I can maybe assume why she's not using her fire magic form. Less shatter means we get there faster. We continue on. Wind ruffles my hair and passes right through me, numbing me with cold. Even Zack folds himself and stuffs his hands deep in his pockets. Millie yanks her hood tighter around her ears and faces and tries to keep her cloak from billowing out too much. Lana keeps her head down, the frigid air turning her cheeks pink. Kara's walking ahead of us with a little skip in her step. Her arms dangle at her sides as if she's just taken an afternoon stroll. I notice Zack. Is Kara not cold? Zack untucks himself from his coat long enough to take a look. His voice drops too.
Doesn't seem like she is.
And here's us talking and blinks in surprise at Kara.
How is she not cold?
Maybe she's used to this weather? There's only one explanation. She obviously knows magic. Zack and Leia just stare at me. I didn't want to be the one that made that terrible fucking pun. Never mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you guys talking about me?
Yes. I forgot you also had supersonic hearing. Mouth drops. How does she always hear us? Leia and Zack look alarmed too. Amelia just blinks at the commotion.
Aren't you freezing?
Yeah. Kara looks at her blankly.
I don't think so.
Oh. Zach's stare intensifies. His face is frozen in a confused grimace, just like the weather.
Seriously? How's that even possible when you're barely wearing...
Kara tilts her head, raises an eyebrow. She smiles, and the rest of Zach's sentence trails off. Zach is distracted. Lena gapes at her.
Seriously, what's your secret?
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 There's gotta be a secret to it, right? Or some kind of heating device that's keeping you warm?
Amy steps over and checks her manipulator.
She does not seem to be using any magical assistance to keep warm.
Oh. Kara laughs.
Are you guys a little chilly or something?
Leanna's trembling becomes a little more noticeable as she huddles between me and Amelia. Kara glances at each of our trembling forms, and for a moment she seems confused.
Oh, wow. You guys do look cold.
Oh.
Because it is!
Yeah! She watches Leanna, Amy, and I step closer together for warmth, and her expression changes, like a light bulb went off in her head. She turns to Zach, and her mouth spreads to a swell smirk. The way she's looking at him reminds me of a fox eyeing a rabbit. Ooh.
Actually, you're right. I'm freezing. Ooh.
She wraps her arms around herself and feigns a violent shudder before cozying up to Zach. Oh god.
I'm terribly, terribly cold.
Anime has occurred. He shuffles away from her.
What are you doing?
Kara pouts.
Trying to stay warm, of course. Aren't you cold too?
Zach frowns.
I'm not cold.
Jersey says that, the wind picks up again. He shivers and crosses his arms. A sly grin spreads across Kara's face.
Oh, of course you're not.
She moves towards him and Zach shuffles away again.
Not happening.
Tsundere man. Kara frowns.
But I'm not dressed appropriately for this weather.
How is that my fault?
Kara looks up at him with big, shimmering puppy eyes.
Okay.
She looks defeated and sniffles.
I guess I'll try to manage somehow.
Oh no. She hugs herself with another theatrical shiver and exaggerates a few more sniffles for added effect. Zach shifts side to side, clearly uncomfortable. He crosses his arms and lets out a deep, deep sigh.
Fine.
He goes to take off his coat, but Kara stops him.
Wait, I don't want you to be cold too.
Well, there's no other option.
That's right. That same devilish smirk slides across her face.
Sure there is.
She lifts up Zach's jacket and slips inside, pressing herself against him.
Hey!
Well, it's another option.
What? We have to keep warm, right? This jacket is big enough for the both of us.
Zach looks like he's about to argue but says nothing. Kara smiles and snuggles into him. Zach's cheeks tinge pink, and he looks away from her. Kara notices his blush and smirks again.
Don't think I'm enjoying this. I'm only doing this because it'll be troublesome if you get sick.
Of course you are. That's so sweet, thank you.
It's not like Zach has a crush on her or anything, Babaka. He drifts over to Leanna. She glances at me and blushes before quickly looking away. Maybe that means she wants to get close to? Scarf, maybe? Unwind my scarf, much to the dismay of the Pongo, and hand over to Leanna. She box.
What are you doing?
I'm being chivalrous. Leanna arches an eyebrow.
Chivalrous?
I settle the scarf over her shoulders and shove the rest behind her neck. Leanna flushes as I reach around her to loop the other half up to the front. A half smile rises on my lips. I can be gallant lately sometimes. Her blush deepens.
Well, you don't have to do that.
It's fine, it was only a scarf. I know, I want you. I cocoon the scarf around her throat again, and Lena's eyes dart to the ground. I tie in a loose knot and hoist the fabric up to cover her pink ears. You get more than I do.
Poi!
Pongo's not pleased. Pongo shoots me an indignant look, then hops off my shoulder and into Lena's arms. He finds his way up to her neck and burrows back beneath the scarf and lets out a content sigh.
Poi!
Sorry, I should have mentioned the scarf is a 2-for-1 deal. Lena laughs.
It seems that way.
She pauses and smiles softly.
Thank you.
No problem.
We are nearing Ellendale. The journey should not be much longer.
Oh, really? What a shame.
Oh well. That gives her a look.
I mean, oh boy. Yeah, it's so cold. Good thing we're almost there.
Jack and Kara quicken their pace, and we follow them for the rest of the journey. We travel for a few days. It seems to get colder and colder the more we travel, but we somehow manage. On one afternoon, we finally arrive in Ellendale. This is our place. While there's still a present chill in the air, the sun's bright rays warm us as it glints off the impressive buildings. People here are well dressed and pay no attention to us. They must be used to seeing those from out of town. As we venture further into the town, I notice lots of people heading towards the center of the square and into a large structure. What do you guys think that building is over there? Amy glances at where I point and brightens up.
That is exactly where we need to be headed.
Okay. He speeds up, looking pleased. It seems like everyone else needs to be there too.
Is there an event going on? What exactly is in there?
But Amy's already out of earshot. We pick up the pace to keep up. When we enter, I'm blown away by the sheer magnitude of the place. The main door is open to a hallway which splits off into adjoining wings. One wing is labeled a library. There is a conservatory and a cultural center too. The conservatory does not allow visitors, but the cultural center seems to be hosting some sort of exhibition, and that is where the crowd of people are filtering into. Lana breathes out in wonder as she takes in the hall. Kara cranes her neck to get a better look into the library while Zach watches the crowd. Amy turns towards us.
The library in Ellendale is renowned for its collection of rare tomes. It is the largest library in Havengard.
Yeah. On the continent of Azaria.
Since we are already aware the Wind Temple is in this vicinity, I hope that by cross-referencing the books in the library with the notes from Eldorissim, I will be able to narrow down their exact location.
Ism, Hisam. Leah nods.
Good idea. Do you need any help?
Amy shakes her head.
I am confident that I will discover the information we need sooner rather than later.
Okay. Kara grins.
You don't have to tell me twice. I've got some business of my own I'd like to take care of while we're here.
Zach narrows his eyes.
What kind of business?
Ooh. Kara smiles sweetly.
I had no idea you took such an interest in me.
He crosses his arms.
I just want to make sure you aren't getting into trouble.
That doesn't sound like me.
Alright, why don't we all take some time to relax and explore Ellendale, and meet back up here afterwards?
Alright. If it gives me a choice, I'm going to do Amelia last since we'll be in the library at that point. Everyone agrees and goes their separate ways. To my surprise, Kara follows Amy into the library. Jack and Lena both move towards the exhibition and seem surprised by each other's choice. I take a close look at the exhibition and see two signs. I guess the reason there are so many people here is because there are two exhibitions going on at once. One is on the illusions of the mind, and the other is about the heroes of Azaria. Leah and Zach both walk towards the exhibition on illusions. Alright. I'll do the illusion one first. Illusions of Mind sounds like it can be interesting. Some of them are really clever. Enter exhibit and catch up with Leanna and Zach. Hey guys. Zach nods.
Hey! I didn't know you liked illusions of the mind.
It can be fun. Leanna smiles and nods. The room is filled with different paintings and sculptures. People mill around each piece, squinting in concentration, quietly discussing. We decide to start at one end of the room and work our way down. First piece is one I'm very familiar with. It's a 2D painting of colored spirals. Lana gasps.
It looks like it's moving.
Zach nods in agreement. We move on to the next one. It's drawing of an elephant, but something seems off. Both Leanna and Zach squint at it. It's missing a leg.
Yeah.
Zach leans closer.
Wait, no it isn't.
Leanna counts.
Only 4 legs, but there looks like there should be more.
Weird arrangement of legs. This is confusing. We remember an agreement as we move on. As we study the next image, my face turns bright red. Is that a naked woman?
Dancing figures.
Leanna nods. Really? That's what you see? She doesn't give me strange glances.
Yes. What are you seeing?
Fuck, I'm gonna just pretend that I see what they see. Also dancing figures. Yes, that too is what I see. It should be one last confused glance for shrugging it off and moving on. We pass 2 more images, both Zach and Leah are in agreement of what they see in each one. They spot the old man, or woman image, and they saw the swan in the rabbit or swan image. Every time they grin at each other, and sometimes they even share glances if they were in on a secret no one else knew. It's a bit uncanny how in sync they are with each other right now. I've never seen them get along so well before, or Zach smile so much at once. As he pauses at the next illusion, man ponders the image thoughtfully. He wears a black robe with gold stripes, and a mess of blonde hair sits atop his head. His blue eyes squint intently at the image as he ponders the illusion.
All of these images hold so much meaning. They're the epitome of understanding that not everything is as it seems. If you change your perspective, you're told a completely different story.
Well then. You and Broodman get along very well.
I see these images and I wonder what it is the artist is trying to share. Which story is theirs? The one that I see first, or the one I understand after further study?
Or maybe both. A duality of man.
This piece has been especially interesting.
He turns to us.
Tell me, what do you see in this picture?
Leanna and Zach share a knowing look and grin.
It's obvious.
Yep.
They answer simultaneously.
Faces.
Vases.
The two of them freeze, their eyes wide in shock.
You meant to say faces, right?
No, they're clearly vases.
Ooh.
No, they're faces.
Unless faces look like vases to you, you're very wrong.
Leanna shakes her head.
How could you have been so right about all the others and so wrong about this one?
Oh no.
Actually, in that last illusion, I didn't see a swan. I saw a rabbit!
The scoundrel! Leanna gasps.
I trusted you.
I thought that was the only time, but I see now that you've been wrong this whole time.
You're the one who's wrong.
Oh no.
No, there's no need to...
Okay, Anduin. Leanna and Zach glare at him.
Not now.
Leanna suddenly rests her gaze on me.
What do you see?
Fuck. Happy waifu, happy life. I see faces. Jesus Christ. Okay. Sisters before misters, I see faces. Or bros before hoes, I see faces. Jesus Christ. Okay. This is a fucking tough one. Do I want to just be a fucking weeb about this, or do I do the thing that I've been doing this whole time? I don't know. I'll do waifu. I see faces too. Then I grin smugly.
Ha!
That shakes his head.
You two are perfect for each other. You have equally bad taste.
Lee and I react at the same time. Perfect for each other.
Bad taste?
He looks at me. I mean, bad taste.
Wait, what did you say?
I saw faces? Chris Mugger turns, he spins back to Zach.
That's right. See? Their faces.
Damn straight, Zach. Zach's eyes.
You're free to believe what you want, even if it's wrong.
She ignores his last comment, content with her win. The philosopher chimes in before two of them continue bickering.
Have you considered the possibility that you're both right?
Yeah, Zach, stop arguing and look at him.
This illusion tells two independent stories, intertwined in a single piece of art. The precision, the illusion, wrapped in perfect symmetry.
Of light and void. Wait, what?
To understand another perspective instead of being rigid in one's own perception, that is the true intention.
That's right, Delsic. I actually don't know your name already, but it just shows up as Delsic. Lee and Zach nod slowly as if fully understanding, taking in what he said. Calm and pensive, they face each other again.
I guess it's possible that they're vases.
I'm glad your eyes are finally working.
Oh boy.
What? You jerk! You're supposed to say you see faces!
Oh no.
Why would I agree with something wrong?
Wow. Dick. The arguments resume and I sigh deeply. Not this again. My gaze wanders the room and I glance wistfully at all the art illusions, wishing we could move on. Hey guys, let's move on. They don't hear me. Guys? Again, the two of them are too wrapped up in an argument to hear me. Seems like this is going to take a while. I guess I'll finish the exhibit on my own and check back in with them later. Unnoticed, I slip away from the group and finish up the tour. I'll do the exhibit on the Heroes of Asaria. Because I feel like going to see what Kara is up to. She's in the same place as Amelia is, that's probably the meeting point. So, Heroes of Asaria is next. I decided to attend the exhibition to learn more about the history of Asaria. Because we got isekai'd here from New York. I follow signs directing me into the Heroes of Asaria exhibit and see a broad wall with an enlarged portrait of 5 people. Below the portrait is a text, Heroes of Asaria. There are a few historical items on display, safely preserved behind cubes of glass. I see a rusty sword which was found at the site of the first battle. On the wall is some information about the War of Asaria. I begin reading. The War of Asaria began with the establishment of Void. Originally, Shadow magic practitioners lived in harmony throughout the 3 kingdoms. A small faction became discontent with the status quo and abused the uses of shadow magic. As this faction grew, they became known as Void. They quickly turned into a dominant force and spread chaos throughout the kingdoms. The 3 kingdoms, Havengard, Venaya, and Krizima, had been in a constant state of land wars with each other, pushing their borders and boundaries, and did not initially notice the rise of Void through the disarray. Void was free to ravage the towns and cities within all 3 kingdoms, and the destruction was immense. It wasn't until the Heroes of Asaria emerged that the tide of war changed. Although originally divided, the 3 kingdoms realized they had to work together to stop Void, and they collectively supported the efforts of the heroes. With their help, Void was ultimately defeated. The kingdoms recognized that their wars helped carve out the way for organizations like Void to grow, and they called a ceasefire. Together, they established their borders and found peace. All three kingdoms agreed that shadow magic was too dangerous of an element and banned its use. Thus, the Treaty of Asaria was signed. I heard tidbits about the War of Asaria, but this helps me understand the severity of Void's reappearance. They must have really wreaked havoc among the three kingdoms. There's extra in Heroes of Asaria as well. Oh, right. I had to click. Alright, those are some dope-ass dudes and dudettes. The Heroes of Asaria are the group of 5 people who band together to defeat Void's operation. Although they come from different places in Asaria, they each had the same goal, to do whatever it took to protect their countries and people. I wonder about something. Okay, H does not hide things. It did that in Ascot Academy, so I was checking to see if it did the same thing here. Oh well. I think what I'll do is I'll start from the top left, go around in a circle, and hit the middle one. Top left. We'll go clockwise from top left, and then we'll do center last. Rixney. Or Rixney was a student at the Zelic Academy in Kresimar when he studied to become a mage. Where he studied to become a mage. He learned to conjure weapons of pure ice as a specialty of frost magic. When the War of Asaria broke out, Rixney left the academy to join the fighting efforts against Void. Never wanted to think inside the box, he created and mastered a unique form of materialized weapons of all shapes and sizes. He also has heterochromia, as seen in this picture. At the end of the war, he was invited to complete his studies at the Mage Academy in Havengard, which he accepted. He adjusted his studies to become a Mage Knight due to his weapon conjuration technique. After graduating, he joined the Mage Guild. He quickly rose through the ranks and earned the highest honor a Mage Knight can achieve, Class S. So he's basically the zero of this run-through. Top right, Isabelle Celine. Isabelle is a skilled archer from the desert dunes of Vinea. Living in the harsh climate of the desert forced her to grow up quickly. She had a natural proficiency with the bow, and it wasn't long before she became deadly accurate with her shots. Paired with her casting abilities, she's a dangerous opponent and a great asset to the team. She uses the environment to her advantage to target her enemies without being seen. Isabelle began tracking Void's operation at the start of the war and was one of the main reasons the heroes were able to quickly find Void encampments. After the war, Isabelle disappeared. No one has been able to track her movements, but many say that where there may be shadow magic, Isabelle will be there to deal justice. She also looks very familiar from earlier in the stream. Wait a minute, tracking Void, carries a bow. Could the woman Broodman talked to back in Wolf's Den have been her Isabelle? Oh. My eyes widen. I briefly met one of the heroes of Asaria. That's awesome. Alright, bottom right. Robin Ostergaard. Robin spent his younger years in Havengard. He was a lively man who had a fondness for song and a knack for poetry. Kind and gentle in nature, he was often found reading texts of past histories. Even in his youth, he had a passion for helping others. He had a skill for wind magic, but he only used his casting to protect others, and only when he felt situations as dire. Regardless of how infrequently he chose to cast, it did not lessen just how powerful a mage he was. After the war's end, Robin disappeared. Many believe he may have been killed in battle. Nevertheless, Asaria chooses to remember him for the hero he is, a savior of the kingdoms. Odessa, Redlone. Odessa can always be spotted with her loyal pet mink, Maeva. She grew up in Havengard and was a proud student of the Mage Academy. All of them seem to be magic casters of some sort. And it looks like the middle guy is a flame dude. She excelled in her studies, was always in top of her class. Upon graduation, she was invited to join the Mage Guild. A skilled fire caster, it is Of no surprise that she was selected to assist the guild during the battles against Void. Her magical proficiency and understanding alchemy made her a valuable addition. After the war, she returned to her alma mater in Havengard, where she became a professor. Her expertise continues to shape the young minds of our future mages today. And XZ, center dude. XZ grew up in a small town in Vinea, but not much else is known about his past. Always wearing his classic smirk, he is known for his quick-witted jokes and cheery demeanor. But beneath his bright demeanor, he is a formidable mercenary, known for his powerful fire augmentation and martial arts. So he's the Punchman. A natural leader, XZ likes to tackle his problems head-on. It is not uncommon for him to be the first to run into battle. So he would be the type in the Mortal Kombat cartoon to be like, "It's combat time!" but instead of getting punched in the face, he punches them. After the war, XZ returned to his hometown where he is honored as a hero. This is pretty interesting. I can see why the heroes are also respected. I continue browsing the exhibit until I've seen all there is to see. Chikara time. See what Kara's up to. Actually, she's going to take care of some business. In the library? I wonder what she's up to. I enter the library and find her among the shelves. Hey, Kara. Smiles.
Hey there.
Checking out the selection?
You could say that. I'm wondering if I have something that might interest them.
Pulls out the faded tome she found in the Earth Temple.
If this library is as extensive as Amy says, maybe they're looking to expand their collection.
Couldn't hurt to ask. I browse books along the shelves. Looks like they've got other old books here too. She pulls out a book and inspects its cover, then grins as she puts it back.
They've got Aria's texts.
Who are they?
The ancient civilization here. They're the people who would have built the Wind Temple. If they've got Aria's tomes, then they're sure to be interested in what I've got.
Kara confidently approaches the librarian.
Perhaps you could assist me.
Librarian glances down his nose at Kara and sniffs disdainfully.
Perhaps.
Ignoring his haughtiness, Kara pulls out the book and places it in front of him.
Would you be interested in a Gaian text?
He leans closer to inspect it.
Where did you acquire this?
From one of the ruins.
Yes.
Unlike most of texts found, this one is very atypical. It's actually a children's book.
Yeah. Pride slips through his demeanor.
A children's book?
Yeah. Kara carefully flips through the pages to show off the illustrations.
Yes, and you can tell it's Gaian based on the calligraphy.
Yeah. That shakes out. She points to different places on the page.
The Gaian's language didn't use punctuation, while the other ancient civilizations, such as the Arai, did. And the parchment itself is out of an animal hide, which is typical of Gaian culture.
Kara continues to spout more and more facts. The more she talks, the more impressive the librarian seems. By the end of her speech, his frown is replaced with an interested grin. He further inspects the book and nods in satisfaction.
Fascinating. And you're hoping to donate it to our library?
Well, donate for a small fee.
Ah, of course.
Yeah. He lists a number which Kara pleasantly counters. They go back and forth for a while before the librarian finally nods. The two of them disappear for a few minutes before Kara returns with a small pouch. She grins as he safely tucks away her pouch. How'd it go?
Not bad. I was hoping I could get a little more, but I still ended up with more than the initial offer. That's a win in my book.
Nice. Can't help but be a little impressed. It must have shown on my face as Kara looks at me questioningly.
What is it?
We already kind of did the history thing earlier, so I'm gonna go with the haggling. Another thing, you'll have to teach your haggling skills one day. It would have come in handy back in Bazada.
Speaking of haggling, why don't we go check out the shops?
Ooh. Sure, it'll be nice to see more of the city. Kara and I leave the building and wander a couple of streets until we come upon the marketplace. Oh yeah, also, in the last stream of this game that I did, we went gambling with Kara. That was great. We browse a few of the storefronts. Kara mostly ignores the clothing shops and seems more interested in stores selling trinkets or antiques. While Kara peers through the window of a shop, I overhear a father and son talking in front of a sweet shop. The boy claps happily as his father hands him candy. His dad grins equally as wide. And the music kinda died.
I'm proud of you, son. Remember to keep up your studies. Maybe one day you can grow up to be a mage.
Thanks, Dad.
I recall my father's face and how he looked when I brought home my first A. He looked just as proud and happy as that man of his son. He took me out to ice cream as a reward and told me to keep my grades up. What is he doing now? Does he even know that I'm missing? A hand waves in front of my face.
Hello? Are you still there?
Carl looks concerned. Sorry, what's going on?
You okay there?
I'll be truthful. Sorry, I saw that father and son over there and it just reminded me of my home. My dad used to buy me ice cream as a reward for doing well in school when I was young. There's expression softens.
You never really talk about home. Sometimes it's hard to remember that everything is so up in the air for you. One minute you were living life as usual, and then in an instant all of that was ripped away and your life turned completely upside down.
Kara's voice increases as she talks. She seems to know exactly how I feel. Sounds like you've dealt with something similar. Kara looks surprised and laughs bitterly.
Nothing quite as extreme as being transported to another world.
Of course. But something did happen? The girl's quiet. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. It's just unexpected since you're always so confident. I got the impression you like traveling alone, and it's hard to imagine you'd be unable to handle it yourself. Kara smiles softly.
I wasn't always like that. When I was young, I lived with my father in a big town. I went to school and gossiped with my friends and played with dolls just like every other little girl.
I can't imagine you playing with dolls. She laughs.
I love them. It's a bit embarrassing how many I had. My friends always liked to come to my house because I had all the popular dolls back in the day.
You realize I can't keep this information myself, right?
Little girls like dolls. I'm not ashamed.
Exactly. She's starting to sound a little more like herself again.
Anyway, sometimes things happen out of your control, and all you can do is roll with the punches.
Yeah?
I'm sorry that you've been feeling alone, and that it's taken me so long to notice.
I don't feel so alone after talking to you. Kara grins mischievously.
You should save lines like that for Leanna.
Right. Oh, no, I didn't mean like that. Kara laughs.
I know, but your reaction was worth it.
She glances down the road.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, that shakes out. Save the pickup lines are corny as fuck for Leanna. Oh no. We walk around for a while longer to explore the city. We eventually return to the library and exhibition hall and part ways. I'm ready to call it a day. The sun's beginning to dip in the sky. I better go check on Amy and see if she's made any progress. After entering the library, I spot Amelia at a secluded table surrounded by a mountain of books. She doesn't hear my approach. Hey, Amy.
Hello.
She doesn't look up from her textbook. Did you make any progress? Finally, she looks up at me.
Yes, I did.
She gestures to the books around her.
All of these texts include data on the 100 floating isles. I have spent the afternoon gathering and analyzing all of that information.
Wait, did you say floating isles? Amy blinks.
Yes,
As in, they're hovering in the air.
yes.
Oh no. We just got Angel Island up in this bitch. You don't seem surprised by this.
Of course not. The islands float due to the magical dispersion in this area. This is a natural phenomena which has been around since the time of the ancients.
Do people live on these islands?
No, it is not logical nor conducive for habitation. Most of the islands are far too small for colonization, and those which are large enough to hold a small population are not suited for civilization. But because they have been mostly untouched, the Isles are still one of the most beautiful natural wonders of Isaria.
I hope that we don't, like, find Void there, just, like, fracking for, like, floating rock fragments or some bullshit. Okay, but if no one lives on the Isles, then why are you studying them?
It is highly likely that the Wind Temple was built upon one of those isles. Based on my hypothesis, the temple would be built on the site of the highest concentration of energy.
Oh? Amy nods and begins to explain her scribe the notes. The rest of the group slowly trickles in. Zack and Leanna arrive first, and a short while later, Kara follows.
If my calculations are correct, the temple should be located in this region.
She opens one of the books to a map and points to a cluster of islands. That's great, but we still have a problem. The islands are floating. How are we supposed to get up there?
Wind magic would solve that predicament.
Oh, right. Wind magic. Everyone focus on Leanna.
That's true. While I can use wind magic to jump from isle to isle, it's impossible for me to manipulate enough energy to be able to float everyone. I could float myself and perhaps assist one other person.
Obviously, that second person would be him.
Wow. Going straight for the throat here. Zack gestures to me. Makes sense, I'm the only person who could absorb the energy.
What about the rest of us?
Don't worry, Kara. I'll bring back some souvenirs from the temple. Kara laughs.
I appreciate that, but we should still be close by. The least we can do is keep watch.
We can set up at the edge of the first isle and wait for their return.
Kara nods.
That sounds good to me.
There's still some distance for us to travel to reach the Isles. We can cross that distance as a group and split up from there.
Makes sense.
Yes, but tomorrow. It's already growing dark, so we should rest tonight.
Yeah, good point.
Let's go find an inn then.
Yeah. Once in agreement, we help Amy clean up and then return to the streets of Allendale. Now that the sun is set, the cold seeps through my clothes and chills my skin. A shiver crawls down my spine. Leanna blows on her hands.
The change in temperature is really apparent without the sun.
Fuck. Amy glances at Leanna.
If you are cold, perhaps we should inquire whether the Flushed Mermaid has any rooms. Their rooms are more luxurious than the inns we may be used to, but there is a fireplace in each room. I do believe they provide heat stones we may request to slip in our beds, should the blankets be insufficient.
Ooh.
Plus, their hot springs are open for guest usage.
Hot springs! Oh god. I think we found a point. Kara perks up.
Did you just say hot springs?
Oh my god.
Yes, that is
I'm getting flashbacks to the PBG route in Scout Academy now. Oh no.
You had me at hot springs. Let's go there.
Oh no. She begins to push Amy in a random direction. Somebody's gonna end up with a fucking nosebleed by the end of this, I swear.
This is the incorrect way. The inn is towards the west.
Oops. To the west.
Hot springs delude the mind of everyone. Kara hurries Amy towards the west as the rest of us follow along. Our group checks into the Flush Mermaid. The first thing we do is make reservations for the hot springs. Fortunately, their availabilities for the men's and women's hot springs are at the same time. After we complete our reservations, we receive our keys to the rooms and go upstairs to get ready. That's a dank-ass room. Amy was right when she said the Flush Mermaid had nice rooms. These are a lot more elegant and grand than any of the others we've stayed in, including the one where Zach locked me out of the fucking room for a bit because he tucked his guns into bed. I remember that. The second I entered the room, and my eyes are drawn to the pale wooden dressers, gilded with clamshells and pearls. 2 couches sit before a flickering ivory fireplace. The mantel is streaked with silver waves with a mermaid carved at the center. Dang, why don't we always stay in rooms like this?
They're expensive.
Yeah. Zach heads to his room after I find robes and towels in my closet. Once I am ready, I meet up with Zach and we go downstairs and make our way to the men's side of the hot springs. I step down into the pool, shivering the first touch of heat. Zach sails across from me, enveloped in a vapor cloud. I sink even lower for the water to cover my chest. Pongo's here. We cannot forget Pongo. Pongo plops next to me with a small splash. After a moment, he drifts back up to the surface like a fishing bobber. Pongo drifts in place, his mouth still covered in underwater. A second later, he lets out a happy, bubbly noise. I smile and pat him on his head. This is nice, isn't it? Pongo beams up at me. He leaps out of the pool and it makes a game of jumping in and out of the water. So... Zach doesn't even open his eyes. His arms are spread along the edge of the pool. How's life?
Fine.
Alright, they have models for these. Cool. Fine. Silence. Catch any scary bad guys recently? No response. I frown, sinking a little lower into the water. I notice a huge scar that rips across Zach's chest. Jesus Christ. Full scar. Where'd you get it? Zach finally opens his eyes. He stares me down. Okay. Maybe I struck a nerve. Never mind. Zach turns away. Man, this obviously isn't going anywhere. Might as well just enjoy the hot springs and stop trying to get him to talk. Close my eyes and try to brush off our awkward conversation. Everything is so quiet. Too quiet. I don't even hear the Pongo splashing around. I open my eyes and realize he's not there. Hey, where's Pongo? Jack looks around. Pongo's nowhere in sight. Oh no. Pongo's constantly wandering off. Aren't you curious about where he goes?
No.
If he's not hanging around with me, he's with Amy for science. Zach arches an eyebrow.
And?
I'm gonna say, just because we've already gotten to this point, let's maximize the fucking... the bloody nose potential. Lily should investigate for science. Dude, he totally went over to your girl's side.
I don't think so.
We should double check to be sure.
Nah.
Let's get him. Don't you want to see Kara in nothing but a towel? Zach freezes, his eyes get wide. He crosses his arms and turns away, but not before he notices a slight shade of pink in his cheeks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's not interested in her or anything, Babaka. A slow smirk lights my face. I've become mischievous. My bad, I thought you might be interested. I mean, it's hard to resist the thought of a girl in a hot spring, right? Bouncing around, flushed skin from the heat, wearing nothing but a towel. Or maybe no towel at all. Zach quickly clears his throat.
Well, we'd be doing it for Pongo, right?
Yes, exactly. You get my point. I grin. Of course.
And we're just trying to make sure the Pongo is okay. If we end up running into anything else, that isn't our intention at all.
Damn straight. I nod. Zach uncrosses his arms.
Then I suppose we can check this out, but only for a second.
Alright. Yes, sir. We both make our way across the hot spring, and we eventually come across a massive wooden wall. Also have the black hole ready in case this shows anything fucking risque. Other than live 2D model of Zack Spade as Nathan Sharp, or Nathan Sharp as Zack Spade. Mist puffs up from behind it. A few crystal lamps are lined overhead, but it's so dark that their glowing glow can't quite penetrate it. We hear a loud splash followed by a bunch of girlish squealing. We can't seem to make out any words. My heart rate starts to pick up. We have to make it over. I make a move for the wall, but Zack grabs my shoulder.
No, this way.
Huh? Why?
There's a darker spot over there. Less risk of being seen if a guard comes this way.
That's right. We're stealthing. My eyes fall to the shadowy spot he's pointing at. I blink in surprise. I haven't even noticed it before. It's a good thing I have a mercenary on my side for noble causes like this. Noble. Fucking like it. Zack inspects the wall as if analyzing the best way over.
Boost me up.
I cup my palms together and give him a push. He jumps with one smooth motion and manages to grab the wall. I get the feeling this isn't his first time scaling a wall. Obviously. From the top, he extends a hand down that I just managed to reach by jumping, and he pulls me up. When I've just about scaled the wall, we hear footsteps and see the shadow of a guard approaching.
Get in, quick!
Get in! We dive over to the other side of the wall. My heart starts racing again. Did we actually make it? We both slip into the hot spring so more slowly to not make a noise or splash. Soon we hear familiar voices.
Oh, Leanna, that feels so good.
Massage is happening. My heart leaps in my throat. I try to peek for a closer look. Zack pulls me back and points to one of the larger rock formations. His face is bright red as we swim over, but I can't tell if it's from the heat or what we just heard. Leanna giggles.
Do you like that?
Oh god.
Yes, so much.
Alright, we got towels. We're good. We are not being exposed to censor. We settle behind the rocks and peek over to the degree of a perfect view. It's almost as if the person who designed this hot spring knew exactly what these rocks would be used for and gave us his or her blessing. Thank you, hot spring architect. You're a real healer here. First thing I see is Pongo splashing around. That sneaky Pongo. I knew he'd dish us for the girls.
Poi, poi.
All right, now it's my turn to wash your back. Turn around.
Oh god.
Okay.
I like the sound of this. My eyes follow the voices and,
Kara!
wow. My heart stumbles to a halt. Oh no. Is a nosebleed gonna happen? Alright, the mist is here. Kara stands behind Leanna, her arms are wrapped around her head, with her hands resting on Leanna's breast. That does not look like backwashing to me.
Oh,
Kara looks surprised where a feline grin slides across her face.
I was definitely not expecting that sort of reaction from a mage knight.
Oh no.
huh? What?
I'm glad her hands are actually in position. It gets worse. Anne glances down. It takes a second for her to register what's happening. Her face goes from sunset pink to a murderous scarlet.
Kara!
Oh no! Kara laughs. Leanna squirms a little.
How could you do that?
Baka! Kara giggles and noses her face between Leanna's neck and shoulder.
Are you really surprised?
Oh no. Leanna twists away from her, crossing her arms to hide her chest.
You can't just...
She sputters his word to escape her. I think since we've gone this far already, let's just fucking do it. This is a good day.
What?
I mean, this is a good day.
It is most perplexing that Leanna continues to claim disinterest in
I'm
Kara's
glad it got off that
actions,
screen just in
even when
time.
her body
Jesus.
language
Oh
and
god.
audible responses are that of positive stimulation.
I think after this stream is over, I'm downloading the VOD and getting off of here just so Twitch doesn't be like, haha.
Amelia!
Leanna's face turns an even brighter shade of crimson.
That's not true!
Everything is back to normal. Wait, what? Continues to deny Kara's vengeance? How many times has we missed out?
Boy?
Pongo blows just his eyes above surface, staring in our direction. His voice is bubbly, muffled from being underwater. Oh god. He blinks. Oh no, can he see us?
Boy!
Pongo jumps and lands on the rock we are hiding behind, bounce up and down with a huge smile.
Boy! Boy!
Oh no, we've been found. We've been had. Pongo, no, shh.
Get your Pongo under control!
Fuck. I'm trying, damn it.
What's going on?
We've been found. Pongo leaps higher and higher into the air. He reminds you of an excited little dog, running up to greet you after a long day of work.
Boy!
Lena reaches for a towel.
Is someone there?
The baka. Crap, what do we do?
Meow!
I jerk my head up and gape at Zach. That was the most unconvincing cat sound I've ever heard. A separate smile slides across Carter's face. She plants a hand on her hip.
Zach, is that you?
Meow?
This went in a fucking great direction.
Oh, this is gold.
Dude, has that ever worked for you before in your life?
Once.
What? How is that even possible?
I realized the guy was deaf afterwards.
Oh. Pongo bounces up and down, going crazy with happiness.
I hear more than one voice.
Oh no! I've also been had! Leah looks horrified. She hauls herself out of the water and wraps her towel even tighter around herself. Stumbling, she lunges for the pile of fluffy towels, fold off to one side, and starts cloaking them around herself. The Pongo leaps off the rock and straight into my arms.
Boy!
Fuck. I let out a deep, deep exhale. The gig is up. I stand and Zach begrudgingly does the same. Pongo leaps into my shoulder and snuggles against my cheek.
Boy!
Ah man, you're so sweet. How can I stay angry? Well, maybe because I die here tonight. Amelia cocks her head.
It is quite surprising to find you two occupying the same hot spring as us. After all, this is the women's side, and you both are men.
Oh no. My face goes hot. Oh, what? It is? We're obviously lost. Like the last name I gave this character. Ha ha! Kyra giggles.
What a terrible excuse.
Lena has somehow successfully swallowed herself in at least 10 towels. She reminds me of a fluffy marshmallow.
You guys!
Oh no. One of the towels falls over her face. She huffs and shoves it back.
You guys can't just come over here.
Kyra winks.
Yeah, if you wanted to hang out, you should have just said so.
Oh no.
Huh?
Wow. Kyra grabs our arms and yanks us out of the bushes. Really? Lena looks mortified.
What?
That's my response too. She grabs even more towels. I'm not sure which part of herself she's trying to cover at this point. Kyra leads us into the water and smiles.
We don't mind. Right, Amy?
I feel like Amy should mind. Amelia barely rushes Kyra's comment.
The activities of the rest of the team do not concern me lest it disturbs my research.
That's right, research the Pongo. Research? Amy nods. She lifts her hand and makes some of the water rise, shaping it into little dolphins.
Boy?
Pongo blinks curiously. He jumps down from my shoulder and onto a small rock to investigate. She smiles and waves her hand. The tiny dolphins dive in and out of the water. The Pongo's eyes sparkle with wonder.
Boy!
We got dolphins! She looks pleased with herself, but I have no idea what the heck she's trying to research. Kara slides in, bumps Zach with her hip, making him jump.
So, did you like what you saw earlier?
He turns away and crosses his arms, but his cheeks turn a slight pink.
I saw nothing.
Kara's smile turns wicked.
Oh, really? What a shame. Well, now that you're here, you might as well make yourself useful. I need my back washed, please.
Alright.
But Leanna already did.
I thought you didn't see anything.
Oh! Zack shuts up and his face becomes red. Kara grins and hands him a loofah. She swings over to the side so she can prop herself up and relax as she sets Zack to work. I slid to one of the edges. With Pongo and Amy having fun and Zack and Kara doing their own business, there's only one person left. Hey, where'd Leanna go? Huh? Turn around, but there's nothing there for a giant pile of towels as tall as a human. This girl. Leanna, is that you under there?
No.
Towel shiver a bit at what I'm guessing is Leanna shifting you around from underneath. Why are you burying underneath all those towels?
It's just very cold out here.
Cold?
Yes,
In the hot springs.
that's right.
I think at this point we've seen enough meddling. Yeah, I can leave if you want. I'm starting to feel Leanna's searing blush through all those mountains of towels.
That's not... I mean...
She takes a deep breath and the layers of towels slowly start to drop off till there's only one left. She comes over and takes a seat at the edge of that spring. Let her legs dangle in the water. Her face is still flushed, and I have a feeling it's not just from the heat. You know, all things considered, I think your wolf's den armor was more revealing than this. Leanna blinks at me, then she laughs.
You might be right.
Yes, that fucking purple armor. Let me have a confession. She looks at me curiously.
What is it?
And with sack of towels, I saw something just now that I didn't see when you were wearing the other outfit. Your ankles. Leanna burst out laughing.
Oh no! How embarrassing! I feel so exposed!
Haha, comments on the Victorian nudeness. She laughs again and attention from 4 eases. We continue to chat for a while longer. Kara continues to tease Zack, who stubbornly pretends not to notice, and Amy conjures little tricks in the wire to the delight of the Pongo. Her magic is a dolphin. Alright, once it gets close to the end of our reservation time, Zack and I slip back to the men's hot springs so we don't end up in trouble. I'm glad that Zack knows how to snake in. After our time is up in the hot springs, we change back to our clothes and meet at the Flush Mermaid's Inn to have a late night snack. And damn, this place is snazzy too. Like all the other inns that we've been at have been mostly wooden. The place that we were at just before this one in Wolf's Den, it was mirrored from here. We gather around a mother of pearl table, flecked with bits of coral. The chairs here are more comfortable than the wooden ones I've gotten used to. We see pets. The servers bring us each a scoop of ice cream. Leanna grins and digs in.
Wow, this is delicious!
Hell yes.
What kind do you have?
Chocolate.
Kara's expression turns wicked.
Looks good. Mind if I try?
Oh no. Leanna smiles.
Not at all.
Goes to slide over her bowl, but instead Kara moves in on the spoon of ice cream that Leanna is holding and eats directly from it.
Kara!
Yep, you're right. It's delicious.
Wow. Kara giggles and winks. Zack stares at the scene. Kara seems to feel his stare because she turns to face him.
What's wrong? Want me to lick yours, too?
Zack chokes on his ice cream as his face becomes completely red. We don't see the change here.
Never mind. We both got the same flavor.
Oh. He grins devilishly.
I'm glad we have the same tastes.
Zack mumbles something incoherent. After we drive our snack, we all decide to turn for the night and make our way towards the staircase to our bedrooms. On our way upstairs, Zack spots a fancy vase.
Hey, Leanna. What's that?
Leanna looks.
What? You mean that?
You motherfucker. She suddenly pauses. Pink creeps into her cheeks.
Sorry, I didn't catch what you just said. What is that?
She frowns.
It's Two Faces.
Ah! I let out a low groan. God damn it. Not this again. Kara Amelia blink in confusion.
Leanna, is it not clear that the object to which Zack is referring is a vase?
I know what I saw.
Zack smiles triumphantly as Leanna crosses her arms and pouts. Kara looks from Zack to Leanna and then shakes her head.
I'm not even going to ask.
It's probably best that you don't. That's for the best. How did I call what I was going to say next? Holy shit. Alright, we hike up the stairs and separate into our rooms. I glance down. Oh, you want to stay with us, Pongo? Pongo perks up. Just don't eat Zack's guns. Open the door a little wider and he bounces into the room. Wind howls outside and I'll make a step closer to the fireplace. Didn't Amy say something about slipping hot stones so our beds were cold? Zack has already rolled away from me. By his heavy breathing, I can feel he's already asleep. I feel pretty relaxed too. I suppose that's the thing about hot springs. It helps you relax and get a good night's sleep. I crawl into my bed, where the sheets are smooth and welcoming. Okay. I accidentally fucked up my window there. What the hell? Alright. I need to refit this too. I crawled to my bed where the sheets are smooth welcoming. The Pongo snuggles up next to me under the blankets. What is causing that anyway? Okay. I go to uncensor the chat there. Or it wasn't Dark Deity. Okay, it was Monster Sanctuary that causing it. Alright, good to know. Science has been done. Throws up to me under the blankets. That's good. My eyelids feel heavy and it's only a few minutes. I found myself drifting off into a deep sleep. Sunlight blasts through the windows and wakes me up bright and early. I groan as I sit up in bed, rubbing the sleep from my eyes. I squint at the bed next to me. Zack is nowhere in sight. I guess he's an even earlier riser. After I'm dressed, Pongo leaps onto my shoulder. Good morning. That's how Lil yawn. It's pretty early, huh? Pongo nods and snuggles against my neck, closing his eyes. We have a long day of traveling ahead of us. I wonder if everyone is already downstairs. I open the door and step into the hall. As predicted, I find everyone already waiting for me downstairs.
Ready to go?
Maybe. Yeah, I have everything.
Great! Then let's get going.
Hell yeah. We set off towards the floating islands. With the bright sun in the sky, I barely feel a chill in the air. It seems like Leanne and the rest of the team are feeling much warmer too. Maybe it's for the magic of the hot springs warming us from the inside. Either way, I'm not complaining. The walk to the air temple takes a few hours. Lately, I've been getting used to all the traveling, but why is everything so far away from each other?
We made it!
Yay. Huh? We did?
Yep, look!
I glance where Leanna points and my mouth drops open. There are 100 floating islands sprawled out across the sky. Hearing Amelia tell me about them was one thing, but actually see them in person?
I've never seen anything like it.
Wild.
Me neither.
Even Zach looks impressed. All the islands are of different shapes and sizes, just big enough for maybe a few people to stand on. The wind tosses the glistening grass from side to side. I can make out clusters of different flowers peppering some of the islands, pale purples and fluffy magentas. Biting my
Just
tongue.
as I expected. The temple should be here.
Where exactly? Amelia points above the islands and up into the clouds.
You and Liana will find the air temple at the highest floating isle.
Ooh. It's a good thing I'm not scared of heights.
We'll set up here while you guys go do your thing.
Yeah.
Good luck.
We don't have a trap disarmor here. Leah and I nod.
Off we go then!
Leah and I travel up the slope in silence. After a while, I glance back and feel unease when the rest of our group party members are longer in sight. As we continue to travel upwards, I feel my ears pop. Just how high up are we? We finally reached the pinnacle point of the mountain. The isles are closer and look even more impressive. The closest isles look deceivingly close, but I know that if I try to jump it without the boost of magic, I'd never make it. A breeze ruffles my hair as I step closer to the edge. I look down and down and down. My chest tightens. Oh, who knew? You're not afraid of heights, but you're afraid of falling to your fucking death. That's a very long drop.
Don't worry, we're not going in that direction.
We're not going down, don't worry. And it gives me a reassuring smile. I feel slightly better, but my stomach's still in knots. I glance up at the first aisle. How are we going to do this? Lana sprints past me and effortlessly jumps high in the air. She lands gracefully onto the platform. Thank you, wood magic. No matter how many times I've watched Lana use magic to augment her physical skills, it never ceases to amaze me at just how badass it is.
Your turn. Take a running start and jump. I'll boost you over.
Alright. As I look at the massive gap between the edge and the first aisle, my knees skim shaky and weak. What if I really do fall? I believe in Lana so far. No reason to doubt her now. I close my eyes and recompose myself. This is going to be quite literally a leap of faith. I step a few paces back and get ready to sprint. Ready?
Yep.
Here goes nothing. Dash towards the edge and jump with all my strength. I feel a powerful gust of wind lift me high in the air. Whoa! In one smooth motion, I make it onto the platform for breeze, softening my landing. My heart is racing.
You okay?
Yeah, it was awesome. Leia looks surprised and giggles.
You ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's do it. We walk across the aisle and position ourselves to jump onto the next one.
Alright, you're going to try this next jump with your own magic channeling.
Oh god! My blood runs cold. My magic? Leia nods.
I know you can do it. You just have to use the wind like a springboard and you'll fly right over.
Alright.
Find the spot that you're going to take off from and conjure a powerful gust of wind from there as you jump.
Alright. Right. Leia speaks encouragingly, trying to calm my nerves.
Don't worry. If it doesn't work, I'll help.
Okay. I'll look at the next aisle.
Just remember what we've practiced. You'll be fine.
Alright. I dive, prepare a running start. Use the wind as a springboard. Right, I can do that. I suck in a deep breath. To infinity. And yonder! I dash ahead, force myself to push past my nerves and focus my mind on my manipulator. Stomach drops, my feet leave the ground, but I try to push through the fear and focus on casting. A surge of energy shoots down my arm. A gauntlet of blows in the air swirls up around me, pushing me forward. I let out several cries as I fly through the air. I land hard on the next aisle and feel the wind escape me, but at least I made over on my own.
That was excellent!
Holy shit. Leia floats onto the same aisle and lands gracefully on her feet, a wide smile on her face.
You were able to augment your abilities on the first try! I'm so proud of you.
Hell yes. Her smile is contagious, and I grin back. Thanks.
You ready to keep going?
Yep. I nod, now brimming with confidence. Let's go. As one, Leia and I leap on land on the next island, and the next, and the next. The first few times I jump, I float shakily in the air, but the more I cast, the easier it becomes. We hop from aisle to aisle, keeping pace and making good time. Leia catches my grin and laughs, springing ahead of me. I smirk. Two can play at that game. I push forward with another surge of magical energy and race ahead of her.
It's like that, is it?
She wears a determined look, and a roar of wind soars her overhead. You're on! I leap after her. Alright. We get it. That was pretty easy. I'm sure it'll get a lot more complicated further in the game, but I don't know when that point's going to be. Although I guess the sparring with Leanna part was actually kind of a weird one when we did that initially. Leap from platform to platform. The whole time I managed to keep pace with Leanna. Her sunny hair whips about with each jump. Her laughter streams across the clouds, bright and delighted. We race forward, but I can't quite seem to pass her. Finally soar and slide to a stop at the final platform. Our shoes sling up grass and dirt. I laugh, sound breathlessly and spiky. My lungs burn as I take in gulps of air. Now that we finally stopped, I realize all this energy I've used. My muscles ripple with exhaustion. I feel like I could collapse and take a nap right here. Do you mind if I take a quick break? He nods.
That's a good idea. You aren't used to such a heavy energy usage in a short amount of time.
Makes sense. It's comfortable and peaceful as Leia and I sit down.
It's beautiful here.
Yeah. All our gaze, it really is. Clouds look as soft as spun sugar. They glide across the blue sky. Dappled sunlight glints off of Leia's white armor. Her hair dances across her face as we watch the sun begin to dip low behind the clouds.
It's so nice here. It makes me happy.
Happy? She nods.
I don't feel so weighed down here. It's like I'm free.
In the wind. I blink at her, curious. Free from what?
Everything. It's just, I don't know. The looming responsibility of the world weighs me down sometimes.
Small chuckle puffs out of me. Looming responsibility of the world? Lena blushes.
I suppose it's not the whole world. It's just, there's sometimes so much expectation. From the Mage Guild, from guards and places we visit because of the sigil.
She hesitates for a second.
And from my family. It all gets so overwhelming.
She's always so calm, collected, and upbeat. I guess it's hard to remember she's human too when she keeps up such a strong facade. She doesn't talk about her family much, and from the way she hesitated when mentioning them just now, I gather their relationship may be strained. Expectations from your family? She pauses and hugs her knees close to her chest.
Well, in this world, a lot of women my age are already married and have children. It's something my family has always wanted for me. Those things, they aren't bad, but it's not something I want to think about right now.
The expectation that parents want someone to get married at a certain age. Yeah, shakes out.
I want to explore and see everything. I want to be free.
Yeah, I know, understanding. It must have been tough to constantly have those expectations on your shoulders. Lena smiles but doesn't reach her eyes. She clods it. And by clod, I mean, Fire Emblem Three Houses clod. Shrugs.
Yeah. I love my family, but we definitely have different views on things.
Yeah. Shakes out. I nod. Yeah, of course. There's a pause.
Ever since I joined the Mage Guild, I feel like I can finally breathe. I can look to the horizon and know that I can just go there.
Yeah. There's another pause.
But all this doesn't matter. I know I'll have to leave the guild one day and fulfill the expectations others have for me. Why even bother doing any of this if it's also fleeting?
Sometimes it's better not to think about what's to come. It's better to just enjoy the moment for how it is. And it blinks.
Enjoy the moment?
Yeah. I grant a nod. Yeah, just appreciate things for how they are right now. It looks a little confused but interested. The experiences you have, the memories you make, those are not fleeting. They stay with you forever. They make you who you are as a person. You get so wrapped up in how you're supposed to live, you forget to actually live.
I never really thought about it like that.
Alright. I think that actually boosted my opinion of the MC of this game. I nod reassuringly. Like, today you're free and able to travel, right? We've been hopping around the air and it's been fun. I don't know about you, but when I'm sorting through clouds, I can't think of anything except how amazing that moment feels. That's how you should live every day. Lena tilts her head, intrigued.
That's an interesting way to view things. But what about the responsibilities you still have?
Yeah, I do. I have to get good grades at school or else I won't graduate, and I have to respect the honor of my parents, but I also have to respect my own dreams for life. I try to take each day one step at a time. It's good to respect your obligations, but try to push forward with what you want for your life. Lena looks like she's processing what I said.
Oh, I see.
Besides, no one knows what life will throw your way. If someone told me a month ago I'd be in another world talking to a mage knight on a floating isle high in the sky, I'd think they were crazy. That doesn't even sound remotely plausible. She chuckles. Yet, here we are. That's just stuff you can't plan for. And those unexpected things that life throws your way, sometimes they end up being better than anything you could have planned for. Her sinister smile finally returns. A flock of birds suddenly shoot up into the sky. The moment tosses back our hair. We watch them fly by in silence.
So, do you have anyone to go back to?
What, like a girlfriend? Lea's cheeks redden and she nods. How do I want to play this character? Obviously, I don't want to say nothing serious, but I also do not want to be like, women totally love me. I'm going to play this character as someone who's not had one. Because, I mean, if it were me realistically, I've had some significant others, but I feel like none of them mattered at the end. Like, yeah, sure, they taught me life lessons, but they're not here now, are they? They're elsewhere. Doppelganger. Took the last one. But that's besides the point. Also, I never had one. Never had a girlfriend. Lena's eyes widen a little.
Really?
I'll play this character as a type who's probably played his fair share of VNs. She blushes. I can't tell if she admires it over the one or if she's just shocked. I smile. Yeah, I just never wanted to date just for the sake of dating. Call me crazy, but I think when you meet that special someone, you'll just know. Lena smiles as her blush deepens. What about you? Lena looks away as she blushes.
I've never been with anyone.
It does make sense. Seriously, I find it hard to believe that someone like you hasn't been in a relationship.
someone like me?
Yeah. Charming, sweet, smart, hardworking, patient, beautiful. Yeah, go on. And his blush deepens.
You're seriously exaggerating. But thanks.
It's hard for anyone to take a compliment. I find it hard to take compliments. Other people find it hard. And sometimes your response... It's hard to respond to a compliment half the time. She clears her throat and scrambles to her feet before I can ask any more questions.
You ready to go?
Yeah. I know, my heart's still pounding. I stand to clear my thoughts. Yeah, let's roll. Not literally, but you know what I mean. We bounce across the more platforms. It takes a lot more work to soar to them than before, but partially because they're further and further apart, but partially because I'm already weary from all the air hopping we did earlier. The sky is painted pink and purple by the time we reach the highest floating island. We step onto the island and look around. The flowers shimmy in the breeze, and in the far corner is the familiar sight of a temple ruin.
This must be it.
I hear a low groaning sound. What was that?
This must be the entrance.
I follow her gaze to a large open archway. It's too dark for me to tell what's inside. A freezing, moaning wind spirals out of it and rustles the grass and flowers outside. I shiver but try to shake off the cold. I'll go ahead. I walk towards the entrance and the wind howls. It roars and tumbles out of the door, pushing me away. I grunt and try to fight my way through, but I'm unsuccessful.
It looks like there's a strong gust of wind here to keep people from entering. Let's try springing ourselves forward.
I nod. Both Leanne and I take our place. With a running start, we use wind to augment our speed and try to push through. Even though Leanne makes it ahead of me, the wind is too strong and we're both eventually pushed out. Damn.
Here, take my hand.
Huh?
I'll slingshot you in.
Oh. Oh.
If this is where the elemental will be, maybe absorbing the energy will lower this barrier, and I can follow after.
I nod and take her hand. Come take my hand.
2, 3.
We both dash forward, channeling our energy, and push as deep as we can. At the point of overpowerment, Lana rotates and throws me, slingshotting me forward. I fly through the gust and tumble into the temple. Looking back, I can't see her past the darkness. At least, that worked. I end up in a room filled with crumbling stone and rusted relics. Surprisingly, I stand alone in this ruin. Where is the elemental? She was always waiting for me in elastic tumbles. Am I supposed to summon her somehow? I take a look around the room. 4 items are scattered about, but I don't spot anything that looks obviously magical. I don't know how to do scans like Leia and Amy, and the Pongo isn't here to gravitate towards anything of energy. What should I do? I step further in, then pause when a pair of inverted eyes appear from the top of my vision. With a sharp yelp, I fall back. A young lady giggles as she floats over. Well, shit. I think that's the air elemental. Instead of imparting me with her power, she merely watches me. I pull myself off the ground. She beams as she watches me. Hello. She doesn't react. Can you talk? She blinks at me and tilts her head. I don't think this is working. What should I do? I bring up my hand to my chin to think. The air elemental blinks and does the same, resting her chin in her hand. Whoa, wait, are you copying me? So I wave a hand. After a second, she smiles and does the same. You are, aren't you? I top the top of my head. She giggles and does the same. She seems pretty playful. I make her play with my hands and slowly reach towards her. She floats closer and does the same for her hand. Our hands move closer and closer, our fingertips touch. Sensation is something I never felt before. While my finger doesn't fall through her like an illusion, I don't feel physical contact either. Through my fingertip, I feel a tendril of calm, ethereal energy, almost like she's testing me. She smiles and suddenly a Galestrom erupts in the room. It circles around me, whipping my hair into my eyes, but I stay steady on my feet. After the wind envelops me, it begins to channel into my body. I feel the rush of energy coursing through me. It makes me feel weightless, as if lifting the burdens of gravity from my body. The stronger and more rejuvenated I feel, the more the LML begins to fade. Before she disappears, she grins and raises her hand to wave. Thank you. The last thing I see is her beaming smile as I absorb the last bit of energy and she disappears. That was a surreal experience. I start making my way back through the tunnel.
Hey!
I see Lena jog over.
The wind outside disappeared, so I came in here as fast as I could. Did something happen?
Yeah, I found the air LML. Lena brings up her manipulator and does the scan.
It seems like you absorbed the energy in here as well.
Jesus. I nod. Yep, she transferred the energy like the other LMLs, but the experience was a bit different.
Different?
She was curious about me. Instead of waiting for me in the room to transfer the energy immediately, she started copying my movements. Almost like she was playing with me. Pretty cool. Lena blinks.
Are you telling me you played a mind game with one of the ancients?
Yes. I suppose so. Lena looks amused.
I'm sure Amy will want to know the details of what happened. To be honest, I'm pretty curious myself. But we've been gone a while now. And now that we've gotten what we came for, we should head back.
Agreed, but first let's grab a few things.
Oh right, you did promise Kara.
Yeah. We took around the room and decided a few interesting trinkets and coins to pack up. Once we're all set, we exit the temple. We both pause outside once we see the dazzling sky. It's a blaze of streaks of violet and gold. Even the puffs of clouds passing by are pointing lavender or orange, adding to the portrait in the sky. I think... Okay, my eyes are playing tricks on me, because I could have swore I saw this one island here wiggle a little bit. I don't know. Colors seem more vibrant so high up here, and then the view takes my breath away.
I thought the view was beautiful before, but this is a wonder.
Yes. We take in the scenery. This is what I meant earlier. Things like this create a memory that lasts a lifetime.
I agree.
Golden rays shine brightly in the sky as the sun travels beneath the clouds, like one last hurrah from the sun before it sets. I don't know how long we stand here before I break the silence. We should head back. I turn to walk back towards whence we came, but I'm not met with solid resistance. Huh? I try to walk forward again, but I'm pushed back into place by a stiff wind. It's as if I'm entering the temple again. I still want to try again, but the wind pushes me back. Hey Lana, where'd this... I turn around and the word is catching my throat. Her gauntlet glows a pale blue while her face is bright red. I look at her in confusion. Lana? The wind hooks around my back and guides me gently towards her. Her cheeks brighten as the glow in her manipulator fades. What's going on?
I want to live in the moment.
Well, steps closer to me. Let's get in. Feel the same way about you. There shows up at me for bright cerulean eyes. My face burns as my heart rate quickens. She's so close to me, I can smell the intoxicating perfume of her hair and feel lightheaded, like I'm under a spell. Radiant sunset fades from view as I gaze at Leanna. The fading sunlight illuminates her hair like a halo, and I reach out a hand to tuck a strand behind her ear. She smiles softly at my touch. She looks imploringly at me as she bites her lip. Her sudden confidence melts as I see a hopeful vulnerability in her gaze. One option. Get in there. The scene. Wrap her arms around her back and pull her into me. She lets out a soft breath of surprise as her hands rest on my chest. I trace the outline of her cheek with my thumb. Her face turns red and I can feel the heat of her blush, but she doesn't pull away. Instead, she leans into my touch. Tenderly, I begin to close the space between our lips. She tilts her head towards me and her lips part. I can feel her breath and I pause just as our noses touch. Breath catches at the electricity of our touch. The air feels thick and charged of energy as you hover so delicately in limbo. Her hands trace down my chest and her breathing becomes shallow as she anticipates the meeting of her lips. I feel the fire of her fingers as they trail down my chest. Slowly, her eyes close. Gotta kiss the girl. Close my eyes. I close the gap between us until our lips meet. In that moment, with a sweet taste of her on my lips, I'm not thinking of home. I'm not thinking of how or why I arrived here. I'm not thinking about my past, about how someday all this might be torn away. I stopped thinking about anything at all, only her. Breathlessly, we pull back and look at each other. She smiles and is more beautiful than the sky above. There's no doubt about it. I'm crazy for this girl. I just realized something. Lena blinks. This means your "Hey there, sailor" line has a 100% success rate. Lena hits my chest playfully.
Really? Are you trying to ruin the mood?
Sorry, should we go back to kissing?
Just stop talking.
Okay. Tugs me close and kisses me again. The moment is here. The world disappears as we share each other's embrace. Once the sun dips low and the sky begins to turn indigo, we reluctantly part. Hand in hand amid goofy smiles on our faces, we begin to head back to reconvene with the rest of our group. The journey back is significantly easier as we are jumping to lower platforms rather than higher. We make good time traveling back. Even still, we would periodically stop just taking the view again. This is definitely a sight I will never forget. Finally make it back to the tip of the mountain where we started. I hear thunder's cracking discharges in the distance. Oh shit! Man, I freeze. What's that? Another boom interrupts me. We hurry down and I hear the clang of blades and a sharp crackle of spells.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, no shit. Leia runs. I sprint after her. Closer we approach the camp, the clearer the sounds become. Flashing a steel discharges firing, people yelling. My heart pounds. I urge the wind to propel me faster. From here, I can make out Amy, Zack, and Kara surrounded by a group of bandits. Half a dozen of them surround Zack alone.
We have you now, Death Slinger.
Oh shit. Amy seems surprised. She mutters under her breath.
Death Slinger?
While flames explode in the bandit's path. Her attacks waver as crackling fire makes them take cover. It takes me a whole second to realize that Amelia cast it.
We have to help!
Damn straight. Amy wills the flames to climb higher, her face twisting in concentration. Amy, watch out! Amelia spins around.
Ha!
Gale booms across the field, tearing apart grass and flinging up dirt. The bandits go flying.
They've got backup.
And I keep our leap near our group. She scowls and draws her blade.
Don't just stand there. Get them!
I should be used to unexpected things like this by now, but my heart still pounds. I unsheathe my sword. Alright.
Is everyone okay?
I nod, panic surveying the damage around me. Zack grabs one of the bandits who's barely hung on to consciousness.
How did you find me?
You motherfucker. Kara's eyes widen.
Find you?
The bandit stays silent. With frustrated growl, Zack drops him back down on the ground and grabs the other bandit. Takes out his blaster and shoots the bandit he dropped. The guy yelps as the bolt blasts into him. He faces a new bandit he grabbed.
Talk, or the same thing happens to you.
That's right, motherfucker. Bandit spits in Zack's face.
I have nothing to say to you, traitor.
Oh. Zack scowls and punches the bandit across the face, knocking him out cold.
Traitor?
We hear a shout of laughter and turn to face another bandit clutching his side.
No one joins the Cloaked Brotherhood and leaves. You should already know that. Zack Spade.
Cloaked Brotherhood?
Fuck. Zack walks over to a bandit and kicks him across the face so he finally falls unconscious. Zack searches for any other bandits who may be awake, but no one else is responsive. Suddenly, Kara marches up to Zack for a dagger drawn. Whoa, what the?
Kara!
You were a part of the Cloaked Brotherhood this entire time?
Oh shit. Kara's voice is harsh and her eyes only contain hostility. Zack holds her gaze and doesn't flinch.
I am not a part of the Cloaked Brotherhood.
Then why did he call you a traitor? How do they know what your name is? Tell me!
Zack steps closer to her blade, his expression cold and stony.
I already told you, I am not a part of them.
Kara tracks her blade but keeps glaring at him.
How do you even know who the Cloaked Brotherhood are?
Kara's eyes harden into polished jade. Her voice is flat and cold.
Because they destroyed my only home and family.
Fuck. He sheathes her dagger and begins to walk away. Amy had stayed silent this entire time, watching the scene unfold. She tries to stop Kara.
Kara.
Kara stops and gently shrugs off her grasp. Out of her
I
grasp.
need some time to think.
Then she disappears into the trees. The air around Zack has been thick of tension ever since the ambush. Kara still hasn't returned. We set up camp without her, not really sure what to do. Zack stays secluded from us and leans against a tree. His hair covers his face. It's been a while. Maybe we should look for her? Maya frowns and shakes her head.
It's probably best to give her some space for now.
She's probably right. Still, there's a heavy weight on my chest. I can tell Kara's hurting, but I'm more confused about what's going on. What was that guild they were talking about?
I'm not too sure. It sounds like a mercenary guild.
Probably not a reputable one, considering Kara's reaction. Maya looks troubled. What's wrong?
They called him the Death Slinger.
Who exactly is the Death Slinger?
He's an infamous mercenary for hire. They say he has a death wish. The Death Slinger would take on missions and jobs that no one else would take on because of how dangerous they were. Anyone crazy enough to do those jobs were said to have no regard for their own life. Somehow the Death Slinger took those impossible jobs and found a way to survive.
Jesus.
At the Mage Guild, we were warned that there were certain encounters, or individuals, who if we ran into, we would not under any circumstances engage them. The Death Slinger is one of those people.
Maya shifts uncomfortably.
He has one of the highest body counts out of any mercenary.
I look at Zack. He may be a bit rough around the edges, but I know that deep down he cares about people. What the Death Slinger did, it doesn't sound like Zack at all. But this also isn't the first time we've seen him with bands after him. When we encountered him, Leia mentioned those bands seemed weird. Was it Mercenary Guild chasing him? Can we trust Zack? Leia hesitates, but Amelia pipes up.
Regardless of Zack's past, it appears his present self is no longer affiliated with the Cloaked Brotherhood or his persona of Deathslinger. He has also not betrayed us thus far.
I suppose if he really wanted us to do us harm, there have been plenty of opportunities already. And nods deep in thought. So, I wonder what that guy meant by traitor. He frowns pensively.
I have a few theories, although I do not advocate jumping to any conclusions before we have discussed the matters with Zack or Kara. Regardless, his previous time as Deathslinger is something he has attempted to keep hidden as a way to disassociate himself with his past.
And I nod. Everyone has a past, but it's how they act in the future that is important. I hear footsteps. We turn to see Kara finally returning to camp. Zack whirls around. I can't read the expression on his face. Relief? Uncertainty? As she gets closer, I notice that her eyes are puffy and pink. It's clear that she's been crying, but her expression remains cold. She stops in front of Zack.
Tell me about the Cloaked Brotherhood.
What do you want to know?
How did you become associated with them?
Zack pauses. At first, I think he's going to refuse to answer, but eventually he does.
They gave me my mission to silence a target. It was a part of their initiation.
Kara inhales sharply.
So you were looking to join them?
I can't see her face, but by her voice, I can tell she's angry and disgusted. Zach nods. Kara's frown deepens.
That was before I knew what they were all about. When I went to carry out the mission, that's when I found out the truth. My target was an ex-member of the Cloak Brotherhood. The rule is, the Brotherhood is for life. This person didn't want to kill anymore, and he ran away. He was being hunted but had evaded the Brotherhood for years. When they finally found him, he was living a simple life in a small village with a wife and 2 kids. The mission was to kill him and everyone close to him, and to send a clear message for anyone else who would want to leave the Brotherhood. That was my initiation. I know my target killed people. Probably innocent people too, since he was part of the Brotherhood. But his family was innocent. Their only crime was knowing him. I've never killed innocent people before, and I wasn't going to start then.
I risk a glance over my shoulder. Kara's arms are crossed, but she seems to be listening.
When I found my target, I warned him of my mission and told him I would cover him so he and his family could escape. I knew the others who joined me in my mission would kill me if they knew I'd betrayed them, so I took them out before they could get me. And then I let my target go free. Once the Cloak Brotherhood found out I didn't complete the mission and help the target escape, I knew they would start hunting me. I tried to get away and stayed in hiding for as long as I could.
Kara finally lets out a loose sigh. Tension unwinds her body as she slumps a little. She seems to believe Zach. Zach looks directly at Kara.
But they are a very covert guild who deal in secrets. How do you even know of the Cloak Brotherhood?
Her voice is thick with tears. I can tell she's trying to hold them back.
My dad was one of their targets. He had stumbled into some information when he was working as a treasurer's assistant. He reported it to the treasurer, who had been corrupt and sought to silence him.
Reminds me of the Raven Crest place, the corrupt treasure from there.
We escaped, but our life was never the same. We had to move from city to city and never stayed in one place for longer than a few days. My dad would be gone for hours, sometimes even days at a time. But no matter how long he was gone, I was never really afraid because I always knew he'd come back for me. Until one day, he didn't. I knew something had happened to him, but I had no way of finding him. I spent my life trying to figure out what had happened. I dug into as much as I could. The treasurer, what it was, who called the hit, everything. I found out it was the Cloaked Brotherhood who did it, but there was no more information I could gather on them. They cover all of their tracks.
Fuck.
I'm not sure if he's really dead or not. I've tried to come to terms with it.
But you want closure.
She nods. Zach pauses and surveys her for a moment.
I know their base of operation. They have a ledger there that keeps records of all the jobs. So even though this happened years ago, you could still find your answer.
We're gonna fuck up the Brotherhood? Kara's back straightens. There's a glimmer of hope in her eyes.
But do you really want to know the truth? It might not be the answer you want to hear.
Kara's jaw clenches and her eyes are aflame of determination.
Yes.
Zach nods. Kara's expression softens.
I'm sorry for jumping to conclusions earlier. I just haven't heard the name Cloaked Brotherhood in so long, and as soon as I heard it...
She looks down.
I understand.
I won't be able to concentrate knowing there's finally a lead I can pursue about my dad. As much as I don't want to, I'll have to leave the group.
Turns away, but Zach grabs her arm.
I'm coming with you.
Yes! Kara's eyes widen.
What?
I've been running from my past for long enough, but enough is enough. They'll never stop searching for me, and the longer I run, the more I put others at risk.
He gestures at Amy and the rest of us.
I don't want to be the one that puts all of us in danger. I'd never forgive myself if I let them hurt the ones I care about most.
Oh, fuck. He looks into Kara's eyes. Her cheeks flush, but a small smile graces her lips.
I guess we'll both be leaving then.
Looks like it.
When they turn around and approach us, Leanna's already standing, smiling expectantly.
So, where do we go next to take care of the Cloaked Brotherhood?
Kara freezes, her mouth agape.
What?
You said you guys are going to take care of that guild, right? What's our next?
Let's fuck them up.
Zach and I are going to go alone.
Amy shakes her head.
If your description of the Cloaked Brotherhood is accurate, then this mission will have a greater chance of success with the aid of the entire group.
Damn straight. Zach crosses his arms.
Absolutely not. It's too dangerous.
I believe my combat abilities as a mage caster have been proven on numerous occasions.
That's right, she lit those guys on fire.
And as a Mage Knight, an active member of the Mage Guild, I have been trained for dangerous missions such as this.
Yes. Kara looks at me.
But what about collecting energy to help him get back home?
They look expectantly at me. That can wait. We've already hit 3 temples, and that last temple isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Y'all didn't hesitate to help me when I needed it. I know my skills aren't quite as impressive, but I'm ready to do my part and help you guys too. Lena smiles approvingly on my response. Kara's at a loss for words.
I'm not sure what to say.
Boy!
Pongo's in agreement. We all glance in surprise at the Pongo. See, even the Pongo wants to go.
Boy!
He noses Kara's legs. He gives Zach a tentative look, who returns his look with a stony glance.
Boy!
Mustering up his courage, he goes over to Zach and noses his leg briefly, then races to the safety of my legs. Zach's expression is not harsh as he watches the Pongo.
If this is what you guys want to do, I'm not gonna stop you.
Kara looks like she's about to say something and changes her mind and shakes her head. A smile spreads across her lips.
Thanks, you guys.
Tensions in the air disperse and things start to feel like they're back to normal. Leanna and Kara share wide grins and even Amy looks positive.
Let's get going then.
I stifle a yawn, which Kara notices.
Hold on, Zach. It's already nighttime and we don't have a plan formulated. I think we can afford one extra day to set everything out.
Leanna nods.
Let's sleep on it and decide what our next steps will be in the morning.
Sounds good to me.
Alright. Zach heads to his bedroll and the rest of us filter in our own bedrolls too. I go to fall asleep as last embers of the fire die down and snuff out. Next day, I wake up to the sound of voices. We oversees Zach and Kara speaking in low whispers. They consult with Leanna and Amelia while the Pongo snores softly beside me. As I turn my bedroll, Leanna glances over at me.
Good morning.
Morning. Pongo opens groggy eyes and carefully skew out of the bedroll.
Boy!
Sorry, I was trying not to wake you. Go back to sleep. Opens his mouth wide in a sleepy yawn.
Boy!
Shaking himself in a little shudder, he blinks his eyes a few times and focuses a wide grin.
Boy!
I guess he's awake now. He hops with me as I take a seat with the rest of the party. What's going on?
We're mapping out our route to the Cloaked Brotherhood's hideout.
Oh.
I figured you might want to sleep in. It'll end up being a bit of a journey to get there.
I give Leanna an appreciative smile. Thanks. So where are we heading then?
The Cloaked Brotherhood is located somewhere within Bridgewick, and that's located back towards the southeast.
Sounds like we'll be doing a little bit of backtracking.
You are correct. However, that is still advantageous towards our main goal. To reach the water temple, we would have to travel in the same direction regardless.
Convenient. That's not too bad then. Although I figured no matter what, we'd have to travel south since we're pretty far up north. Farrah faces Zack.
You're positive the Cloaked Brotherhood is in Bridgewick.
He nods.
How do you know if you never joined them? Even through all my research and contacts, I wasn't able to learn their location. They keep it very well protected.
I wasn't supposed to know it either. The Brotherhood doesn't reveal the location until you've been initiated. When I was sent to complete my initiation mission, one of the men let slip the location before confirming the completion of my mission.
That idiot.
I haven't gone there myself to confirm, so once we reach Bridgewick, we'll need to do more scouting.
It still sounds like our best lead.
Guess we have our plan then. The team separates as we clean up the camp and get ready to depart. They begin their trek towards Bridgewick. Takes us a few days to travel back south. Even though the mission of our journey has changed, Land still has me follow a strict training regimen. Continue to practice sparring and casting. I feel myself improve each session. It won't be long before I can beat Leanna in a match. I hope. After about 5 days traveling, we finally arrive in Bridgewick. Cobblestone streets are paved and well kept. As we pass through the marketplace, I hear the growing voices of peddlers advertising their wares. More traditional shop fronts line the streets, and a few shoppers chase away any tents set up in front of their stores. I am actually going to save here. I'll save in this slot. What I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut off here because we're about to get into stuff that I think is probably going to involve leading up to the water temple. And therefore the fourth temple to hit. I feel like we're hitting an average at least one temple in each stream of this that I do, so I feel this is a natural breaking point for that sort of thing. Don't think anyone else is playing this game, obviously. I am the only one. Okay, got that. See if anyone in my hangout places is streaming. Not there. On Sykes. Alright, nobody in Sykes. Wait. Just thought of something. Okay. Okay, he hasn't left that group. That's just fucking weird. Alright. I didn't immediately see him or anything like that. Alright, so I guess we're gonna go with, we're not going to go with that today. Let me see if... that. So that one is not live at that moment. Well, I find out who is just... fucking train. Okay. Alright. I'm looking through my... Oh! She's on. It's been a while since I've swung in this direction. But an old friend. Thank you for stopping by today, folks. I hope to see you again. I will be live again tonight. I'm not sure whether it'll be 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we're going to a raid. See you on the other side. Give her some love and support. See ya. And now we on stream.